friendly deal.
Yeah.
And fans notice those sorts of things in the offseason.
Doggone it, they play for the fans and not the money.
How are they going to have their
Sometimes
own?
we have to say that.
Doesn't each player have their own intro?
Yeah.
They're just going to stop for 5 minutes and then
They each
start
come
again?
they each come in individually in a pickup or a convertible.
Well, usually you have the starter and the catcher working out in the bullpen for their pregame routine, so they're going to do something separate.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be tears shed.
You think so?
Man, who's going to cry over this?
Some dude who...
No, it'll be an elderly
Here we go.
woman. It won't be a dude. It'll be an elderly
Easy,
woman.
because I'm going to be talking to that guy in about 20 minutes.
I'm going to say, it's going to be a 101 listener. It's going to be a guy very similar to bringing Lisa Ann Flowers. Awkward, very emotional.
Is opening day too early for a Star Wars night?
No, but it's a perfect time for a cuckoo.
Well, yeah, that's a big night. You got to save that for the summer.
Perfect time for a cuckoo.
Can we make that like some sort of open for a segment or something?
We'll return.
Like anytime we started Dear Deidre, we just have that sounder.
Well, Doug, you're right. There is only one person atop the leaderboard now, and that person is big, and he's beautiful, and he's Harry Higgs. Harry Higgs is the leader at the Masties, 2 under par.
Well, you never know with these things. You never know how it goes. When does Tiger tee off? Noonish?
No, I think within the next 20 minutes. Isn't he 10 o'clock Central, Jackson?
I thought I saw that, but then does that have anything to do with the 30-minute?
You're right. That's
I think
right.
10:15. I think it was 9:45, so he's 10:15.
Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe he won't. We were told there was no chance that he would play, so maybe he won't tee off at all.
He hasn't teed off yet, has he?
It would be terrible to have this much hype and Tiger goes out and shoots 76, 78, misses it, and Harry Higgs and
Guido Miglio's
Ming Wei Lee is like the final. Like that to me is like a disaster.
Well, I can guarantee you, Harry Higgs.
We do have a guarantee.
Well, now it's been said.
Yeah, I did say guarantee.
I'm going to go live bet Harry Higgs right now.
Guarantee Harry Higgs or Min Lee is not winning this tournament.
But what about Min Woo Lee?
Min Woo Lee will not win
What about
either.
Ming Lee?
How about Kenny Wu?
Kenny Woo's not in.
No, he got an exemption.
Yeah, there's
winning email today.
Hey, I know the field is 90 something. There's 40, 50 guys that have no shot at winning.
Guys, FYI, the bastard Step Straka is only 2 off the lead right now. Also, the more important opening day count is how many Hoosiers wash out their helmet nachos with stadium sink water and then wear the 5-cent piece of plastic like a badge of honor. Thanks, that's Carlos Spicy.
2.5 is probably a number.
Well, you would want to wash it off, though. You don't want the sour cream and the sauces in there on your head.
Someone tweeted me a video the other day showing a guy rinsing off his helmet nacho in the bathroom at Busch Stadium.
You would think it could clog up the drains, too.
They
Because
don't care. It's not their drain.
Yeah.
Those aren't full-size helmets, are they? You can't wear those things, are they?
Yeah,
They're pretty damn close.
2 sizes.
Yeah.
They have the big boy
Really?
is a full.
It's like 5,000 calories.
Yeah, that full big boy helmet is it's so heavy.
I like the term that they use for it too. It's taco meat. It's not like ground beef. It's taco.
And what would that be?
Yeah, that's it.
Roadkill?
Seasoned with brine.
Rats.
Seasoned with brine.
Yeah, whenever they say it's a kind of meat, but it's not an animal, buyer beware.
Oh.
Do you think they clean the drains and whatever leftover meat and stuff is down there, they just put that back in?
Oh, wow.
I think just imagine you're the guy you have to stand in line for most of those bathrooms for give or take 4 or 5 minutes.
Well, sure.
Imagine being the guy holding an empty helmet nacho. You go into the bathroom first to take a recreational.
Yeah.
Then
What do you do with the helmet while you're actually going to the bed?
I think that's what
you
makes
ask your neighbor to hang on to it.
That's when the brine comes into play.
Between your legs. Then you get splashback.
And then you rinse it off. And then guess what? You don't wash your hands. No.
I don't believe I've ever had nachos.
I get asked all the time by people, if I'm in an accident, what should I do? And while yes, you should call the police, exchange insurance information, and take pictures of the scene, all those things are important. But the most important thing you need to do is hire a personal injury lawyer. This is Doug Biggs from Longo Biggs Injury Law. And if you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't take on the insurance company yourself. Insurance companies have teams of people and a playbook designed to keep you running in circles so they can pay you as little money as possible for your accident claim. If you don't have a lawyer, they know you can't bring your claim to court, and they will never give you full value. We recently took an offer from an insurance company without a lawyer on the case from $12,000 to $200,000. You can't get that kind of result without an attorney on your case. Even if you don't hire us, you need to hire a personal injury attorney. Check us out online at longobigs.com.
I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially, whether it be saving up for their child's education or planning for their own retirement and everything in between.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the morning after on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the morning after STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to TMA from the Michelob Ultra Studios. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Mug-and-Ass St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, the Plowhawk, and Action Jackson with you here on the radio program. And Doug, you said I look like the cutest boy slut you've ever seen in my HD2 Country t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
This is
I did,
HD2
yeah.
Country.
Yeah, it sure is. And you're just kind of showing off this morning, aren't you?
Yeah, you know, I've been, and I know you guys have been too. We're nervous to walk down the hallway of 101 ESPN, KC95. What's next to that, Iggy? The Arch, right?
Well, the Arch,
And Point, and then our old studio, which lays barren.
Still sitting there, though.
Yeah, it is. Because you kind of feel like a St. Louis Country Club member walking past a bunch of people getting working on the range at Ruth Park. All due respect.
Yeah, we feel sorry for them.
But today I'm like, you know what? I'm old money. You're old money. And I don't think we should have to apologize for it. So here's my HD2 Country t-shirt. Sorry, Randy Character. Sorry, Riz. Sorry, Courtney.
We could buy and sell those guys 10 times over. I never really liked that statement. We can buy and sell you. Huh?
Yeah, either did I.
How would you buy someone?
Gordon
how would you sell them?
Didn't Gordon Gecko say that? Did he start that? Who was he saying it to?
No, I've heard that
Daryl
for
Hannah.
years. I've heard that for years.
She was a mermaid.
I could buy and sell you. What was it? How would you even do that?
Oh, I wouldn't go too deep into that.
I think Lisa Ann said that to one of our dating game couples.
Juan from PP
Oh,
Corp
yeah.
was on the receiving end of that when he began to advertise for he and his fiance and the opportunities I believe PP Corp could present. PP Corp is something I'm interested in. I'm in negotiations with PP Corp.
It's a global concern.
It is. I like
There's
that
another
PP
word I don't like, a concern. What do you mean a concern? Don't call a business a concern. I didn't realize I'd be so upset quite so early.
If you want to flash that you are part of HD2 Country, TMASTLshop.com, and I believe there are this shirt is in multiple colors. Is that right? Yes, I think it is in multiple colors. TMASTLshop.com, and take a look for your wardrobe, both hoodie
Yeah.
and t-shirt
No fool.
enjoyment at TMASTLshop.com. In addition to, I just went to the site, some people like things and some people don't like other things. I want to get into Connor Hellebuck's performance last night, because when you go up against a goalie who can stop 18 shots,
He was standing on his head.
thank you.
Spitting wooden nickels.
Yep.
Did you see in Jersey? He was sweating so much.
Well,
Did they win?
Oh, hell
no, they didn't win. Our club lost 4-2.
I like that a lot.
They got 2 goals.
They scored a couple.
More than
Yeah.
they normally get.
Well, they got 4 the last game.
And one.
Yeah.
I think they got 2 against the Coyotes
We're coming.
Yeah. Well,
on our chests.
they're 2-1.
If they could have,
2-1 though in the Central, eh?
Yeah.
they could have 0 injuries, and Bennington plays like the best goalie in the league, they have a chance to sneak in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it feels.
Somebody has to emerge as a goal scorer, a twine tingler,
We got 2
a
9
nylon
million
nudger.
guys.
Yeah.
Well, they got their first power play goal last night, Doug, but they were the last team in the league to get one.
Mm-hmm.
First power play goal,
Well,
last team to get one.
Yeah, I don't like that.
We're going to break down each one of Connor Hellebuck's 18 saves because this team is putting pucks on the net.
They don't shoot a lot. They don't enjoy shooting much.
Well, they don't have a lot of sustained pressure in the offensive zone. So now 2-2-1 on the season through 5. We'll take a look at the Canucks on Friday night, and then we'll see the Flames, and they'll stay in Banff.
Banff. There's a couple of F's there at the end. And each one should be heard.
We got no wins per game last night. Thanks, Manute Bowl eligible.
None.
Jackson, did you watch it, or were you watching Chris Paul run point for the Warriors?
So I watched the first 2 periods of the Blues game.
Did you really?
Yeah.
God, I just want to call that.
Get him.
I want to call, but
Well, you're allowed to, I guess.
I don't know why he would lie. This guy's got credibility with me. I'm going to lay it down.
Yeah, so I watched the first 2 periods, and then I was like, all right. Second period's ending. I was like, all right. If the Blues don't score here, I'm going to not watch the third period and just switch right over to the NBA. And then, damn it, Buchnevich scores right at the end of the period. I was like, damn it, I got to keep
Here they
watching.
come.
But then after the Connor goal in the third period, I was like, all right, I'm going. I really wanted to watch the Suns and Warriors, so I
For
switched
heaven's
over.
There it is,
sakes.
Doug.
You had no interest in Game 7, Diamondbacks and Quakers?
I have much more interest in Suns Warriors.
Yeah, I don't even know you anymore.
Boy, 10:01. You'll have hell to pay. There will be blood. Another great QFTA, Tim and Jackson. Enjoyed the fatherhood talk. I'd like you to raise my newborn. Thanks. That's from Shafts McSham. Doug, is it Shafts McShamus or Shafts McShamus?
Seamus, probably.
Well, in the text inbox, it's saved as Shafty McShamus, but he signed off as Shafts McShamus.
Clearly Irish.
Yeah, Irish guy. Probably one of my people. Pale, small cock.
Oh, not with a name like Shafty.
Yeah, right. He's trying to overcompensate. Are the shirts available, Tim, in 7XL for the fats and the sads? That's from the South City Hoosier
HD
aficionado.
country.
I think it goes up to 4XL.
That's
Doug,
right.
You said that.
Wow.
Imagine that.
4XL.
Probably sold out.
What would Orlando Pace wear?
Probably 3X.
You think? And we got him 4X?
Well, what's his dimensions? What's
Doug, you have his dimensions.
Well,
6'6",
when he
6'7"?
played, it was like 6'7". Gosh, he had to be 320 at least.
yeah.
Oh, we got former O linemen.
That's probably 3 or 4, but that's mostly for length. 6'7" is really tall.
Yes, it is. I think he's the largest human I've ever been around.
Right up there. I saw Jake Long once. I thought the same thing. I was like, that's a massive human.
He was in Orlando Pace was in Channel 4 once with his World Series ring, and it wouldn't fit on my thumb. It was too big for my thumb.
Play baseball?
Did Orlando Pace play baseball?
Well, you said World Series ring. I just
Oh, I'm sorry, Super Bowl ring. Yeah,
Nice.
Super Bowl ring. Yeah, wouldn't fit on me thumb.
Yeah, Jack Snow showed me his when he came into the studio, and I could barely lift it. I said, what does this thing weigh, 8 pounds? It was the biggest ring I've ever felt in my life.
It was a large piece of jewelry.
I remember I got the whole Big Al's replica.
Oh, did you?
Pretty nice.
HD2 Country.
That's right. That's what we are. This is HD2 country.
I haven't done
Sorry,
any-
Riz. Sorry, Randy Character. Sorry, Courtney.
Yeah.
Sorry, Learn. Learn mention was me, 716.
I haven't done any research because I never do. That's not me.
Right.
But I wonder if we could be the top-rated HD2 show in the country. You don't hear very many others, do you?
That's right. I mean, listen, here's the deal with this program. We're trailblazers. You've always said
Sure.
that. You're
Yeah.
Meriwether Lewis, and I'm Darnell Clark.
We take a machete and we just hack through the woods.
That's right. What the hell was 9:20 a.m.? I don't know, but it's available. Let's go there. And let's build it up, and then we leave. It's like we're William Tecumseh Sherman, Doug. We'll just light it on fire.
Right. Burn it to the ground.
But you didn't want to take that chance and go over to the man.
Well, we exited
Yeah,
in lifeboats.
You could have stayed and been.
We could have, Doug,
Morning
the
show
cat,
on the man.
myself could have worked with Frank, and as Dan Marshall told me, it would have been a super show.
Yeah, all
And
of us
I
together.
was like, wow, I feel like I'm Ryan Wingo getting recruited. However, I felt like there might be an advertising revenue problem.
The woman station was just something that hit me like a bolt of lightning.
Tim, I'm not kidding. You may have made a good decision to leave.
Right.
You missed some really amazing gold quality off-air content in like a business that you've never seen run before.
Yeah.
I would imagine what it was like. You and Iggy got to live it.
It was my first job, so I'm like, oh my
You had
god,
to be
this
impressed.
radio.
And there was a brawl there for a while, wasn't there?
Oh, there was. That's right.
We had strippers,
That's when it was on
brawls.
Strippers
Yeah.
and brawls.
Male prostitutes on the street trying to get in.
Weren't there whores living at the station?
I don't know if she was a whore, but she was living in the studio.
Well, God, they had that full
Did you ever have
bathroom.
anybody live in the KMOV sports department?
Our sales guy let her.
I know you
what I
felt
know
like
of.
you did, but
Yeah.
Our sales guy let her stay in there overnight, and then before the morning show came in, she had to leave, and then she'd come back the next evening just sleep in there.
Really? I fell down the stairs.
I said,
That's right.
Oh yeah, I said this story once or twice before, but when it was like a beautiful sunny like August day, and like our power went out, and like, oh yeah, it must be the weather, and like the gas station across the street, the Taco Bell, like every other place had power, and so that's when you're like, oh man, they forgot to pay that bill.
Probably. The power company waits a while before they cut you off, too. It's not like you're late a day or two and off it goes.
Oh man,
They
I
do
love
give you a
that.
little leeway, like a couple months probably.
Yeah.
Probably the worst deal ever made, and I won't name the furniture company, but we moved into the new.
Are they still operating?
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
We moved into our new studios down there in Hampton.
Probably comes the partnership with 590.
Marshall did a trade deal with this, and I don't know why anybody would do a trade deal, because nobody's listening. For
Because
all of us,
nobody's listening.
Well, nobody's listening, so even if you play spots for a trade, nobody's listening, so they're not going to hear your spots. But just decked out his whole office in mahogany desk and chairs and couches and paintings and all this stuff. And then 2 months later, we're gone.
Okay.
That's probably what he said.
I'd like a mahogany
Come
desk.
get your furniture. We're done.
Who do we have to speak to here to get a mahogany desk? I've never had one of those.
Tommy, text him.
Text him Sunday night at around 9.
Yeah, no.
You ever get back to you on that text?
I haven't talked to him since.
Yeah, berate him. That's what happens when you don't return a text. Just berate him.
I've never had an office. Not one time in my professional career did I
We
ever
had
have
an office. I sat right across from you. It was wonderful.
It was a desk. It wasn't an office.
I did have an office at the Woman.
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
just-
Yeah.
You had your own, like, with
Yeah.
walls and a door and such?
Yeah, and
It was one of the better offices.
Is that right? Wow, Plowhawk, you remember it.
I would lock it like almost every day.
Leadership.
And what did you do inside of there?
I didn't have to talk to the people that wanted to talk to me.
Oh, yeah. that
Because you were too important?
No, I just got tired of every day. Their show would be over. Iggy, what do we got tomorrow? I'll let you know when I line something up. I just shut the door. Just lock it. Iggy, go away.
They said Iggy a lot.
Guys, the 590, the Man Hummer, is still on Hampton. It's from Sex.
I don't think it is.
No way.
No,
It's-
it was
it's
on
parked in
Manchester
the-
there.
It's been 10 years since it was out of business.
Well, now it's right by the flower shop. They have moved.
What flower shop?
The one that's behind, I guess it's like a plant store. The one behind, like
In
the back
Kirkwood?
entrance of the 590 studios. Yeah.
Oh, the one. I
Kirkwood
always
across
just,
the
Hampton.
Woodlawn.
The
No,
one I was
yeah, that's what I said. I said where the
yeah,
one
back
Hummer.
where the back door is where we used to smoke. We used to stare out at the.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing in
That's
more
where you were
flowers.
going. Yeah.
Bringing more. I forgot the name of it.
In the winter, you would creep closer and closer to the door.
How about this? I'm with Jackson, and this is coming from an old white female. I love hoop rock. That's from Colorado.
What the hell is that?
Ugh.
Luckily, I didn't have much interest in the Nuggets-Lakers game, so I was not upset to not watch that and watch the Blues game.
God.
No, but it started at
I gotta tell
6:30,
ya.
so I
I know.
watch
I
a
saw
little,
it started early.
So I could watch a little.
That's a huge upset.
Well, I got to watch the beginning part of Inside the NBA, a little bit of the Lakers game, so I felt a little satisfied, and I just knew I wanted to watch the Suns and Warriors, so I had time to watch the Blues.
What is hoops rock?
Hoop rock, basketball.
That's a cool way of saying you watch basketball.
It's kind of a goofy way.
I had a kind of not a heated discussion with Courtney last week about
Oh, no.
the difference between. She goes, "It's soft rock month here on the Arch. You're playing a different soft rock song every day." And she named a song. I said, "That's pop rock." She goes, "That's soft rock." I said, "It's pop rock. It's a
It can
pop
be
song."
both, can't it?
Both of them.
So we had a little discussion on soft rock, pop rock, yacht rock. I said, "It's pretty much all the same."
Wow.
I could
told
see
me it
how that
wasn't.
could get heated.
She told me it wasn't. She goes, "That's you don't know." I said, "I do know." I said, "You played that song on KZK. That was called soft rock." But Kenny Loggins has it's a pop song, so that would be pop rock, not yacht rock.
Couldn't it be both?
Yeah, we couldn't.
be all that.
We really couldn't come to the conclusion, but
It's like, what is alternative? It's kind of whatever you decide alternative is.
no, there's a
What about that?
I don't think that is.
that would be soft rock.
This is not soft rock.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't.
You could hear this on KZK.
No,
That'd
you
be
wouldn't.
wonderful.
No.
What would you call it?
I'm
Pop
not
rock?
sure.
Jazz?
No, I wouldn't call that. Certainly not pop. It's more like jazz than anything, I guess.
I don't hear any horns in there.
You need horns?
To have good jazz, you need like a Miles Davis, good horn.
It doesn't have to be Miles Davis.
Miles Davis, good horn. No, I
Segment
mean,
title.
Jason Marquis, good sinker.
Nice Coltrane.
Stop saying nice.
I'll say nice at Munganess, Doug.
Okay.
StLouisAcura.com, AltonToyota.com. Nice. Jamie Burkhardt.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
We're just plain nice. Just
Blaine
a nice
Patterson.
experience every time you go.
Nice.
So
Peter
often,
Munganess.
it's, so often it's an experience that you just dread. Oh, something's wrong with my car. I got to go in. Not at Munganess. You go, all right then, something's wrong. I got to go. I got to get
And
to
then you'll say,
Munganess and see the monkey
nice.
anymore. Nice. This car is nice.
StLouisAcura.com and AltonToyota.com. And even if you didn't get your car from there, get it serviced there. Ryan Seiberg just throws darts at the hit and giggle. He's the service manager. It's Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota, sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour here on TMA from the Michelob Ultra Studios. And Michelob Ultra, of course, with 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbohydrates. Doug, if you're going to get out there and ball strike, highs in the 80s on Friday. This time next week, highs in the 40s. This may be your last time to strike that ball. When you do, enjoy a Michelob Ultra. How do you do?
It's going to have to stop raining. I guess Friday it's not supposed to rain. I heard possible thunderstorms, but up to 83. Sweet,
Really?
sweet action.
And you will be ball striking. You'll be compressing.
Well, I might. I was going to go today, but it's raining, so that's probably out.
You
Well,
never
we
know
need
this
it
time
to-
of year. You get into November, it's hit and miss. I remember I just go by Gobble Bowl because I know Gobble Bowl is the Saturday before Thanksgiving, so end of November. I've had days when I'm packing up the SUV, it's 65 degrees. Other Gobble Bowls, it's snowing.
Oh, yeah. Thanksgiving itself is that way.
Yeah, you never know.
It can be winter or it can still be
Yeah, you
very
can be
nice.
out with the
Yeah.
out with the kids and the nephews playing wiffle ball, and you can be out there shoveling snow.
The seasons, they come and they go.
Seasons change, people change. Think about that.
I don't want to.
Don't like it.
You don't like what?
Cold
His
weather.
singing or the...
Yeah, because that was
I
going to
don't-
hurt.
Cold weather.
Either. I'm not a fan. I'm just so happy with global warming.
You're enjoying
Yeah,
it.
I'm one of the few, I guess. I'm really happy about it. We got all kinds of places to go north in this country. Where
North.
Montana's out there beckoning us. Alaska. We got almost limited real estate north of here if it gets really warm.
Is the guy who said no kill moron shelter this week the Milagro Tequila listener of the month yet? He should be. That's from Jonathan Mardukas.
That's what this studio is? A no-kill moron shelter?
I believe Arbor Day said that. I could be wrong. Was that Arbor Day who said that?
Yes.
I don't know.
Was Arbor Day? Has Arbor Day ever won? Didn't
So-
Arbor Day, like there was a burner Arbor
Yeah,
Day?
there was like someone pretending to be Arbor Day, and it's not like they used like a very convincing name and address. It's pretty obvious that it was fake, and so I wanted to put Arbor Day at least in consideration for a month, but it was fraudulent. And I'm not saying on the actual person Arbor Day did such a thing, but somebody did.
I think right now it's a clear-cut choice. Who's
The Lipstick Lass.
no? She won last month.
2 months ago.
I thought Dogtown Ty did.
No,
I don't
last month was
remember.
Cucky the Dwarf.
Oh, is that right?
I would think, and this is just my opinion, because of his 2 audio postcards, that Raby's got to be the front runner.
Oh, wow.
Let's see
I
if
mean,
he's
those
signed
were
up.
2 tremendous. Even if
I remember one of them and thought it was the best ever.
they
I texted
trashed
him.
me, he trashed me, but it's me doing my stand-up album.
That's right.
Stand-up album.
God, that's so good. With this, like the laugh tracks were really gonna make it.
The laugh track itself is funnier than the material. I think some of that is true when you watch TV shows with the laugh track too. The laugh track kind of tells you when to laugh, and it's maybe not very funny, but
That
with everyone
outdated
laughing.
now? Do they still do shows with that?
So the thing with the laugh track, I think, is like if they didn't have a laugh track, they would write it differently. Like you wouldn't act out a show like that where you pause for laughter if there was no laugh track.
Like Seinfeld would be terrible without.
But they would just do it differently.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
Because Curb is still funny. It's the same bones,
Hey,
same
man.
DNA.
Larry Sanders.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah,
Seinfeld
exactly.
do it in front of an audience, though?
Yeah.
I don't think they have laugh
Did
track.
they do every
anymore.
show in front of a live audience?
Seinfeld did, yeah, I think.
Damn, that'd be
That was
cool.
popular doing that back then.
They kinda
Seems
showed-
logistically difficult, I'd say.
Did they do that with Different Strokes?
Doug?
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. And what would you do if you had a good take going and somebody in the crowd
Right.
yelled something
That's,
out?
that's what I'm saying. Like, logistically, it seems like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because it's hard enough to do a show
know,
every
they'd be-
week.
They'd be kicked out.
Yeah, but you'd still ruin a good take if somebody
Okay.
coughed or sneezed or said something obnoxious.
I'm sure Seinfeld's a show that had thousands of take because they couldn't stay in character. They'd always laugh at
Well,
each other.
thousands
Do you think
would be
they broke a lot?
Yeah.
Jerry
Really?
did.
Jerry broke a lot, is that right?
They would piss Michael Richards off.
So
a
did
lot.
Elaine.
Really? Like it would truly piss Michael Richards off?
Like, you can watch some of the bloopers and you can tell, like, the frustration on his face. Because he's,
Really?
like, doing a lot. Like, he's obviously
yeah.
committing really hard to it. And they just have to kind of be the straight man to him. And it's frustrating.
There was that one episode where Elaine went after George's father, and he said, "You want a piece of me?" And I think in an interview once she said it took like 30 takes. Every time he'd go at her, "You want a piece of me?" She'd just start cracking up. She couldn't get through the scene.
Well, once you crack up the first time, then it's easier to crack up every time after that. It's hard to keep a straight face.
Now I saw, you seen the movie Annie Hall, Woody Allen?
Years
Van
ago.
Keaton.
Wow. Long. 50 years ago.
Well, there's a,
Didn't it just came out? IMAX?
It
No.
just came out.
well, I'll tie it in.
Playing at Kenrick.
It's not a hi-
1977.
It's not a hijack.
Ronnie's is having a double feature of it, I
It's
think.
not a hijack. I'll tie it in.
Yeah,
Tony
this feels
Robbins.
like it's 10 miles away from the finish line.
Tony Roberts, who seemed to be like in every one of Woody Allen's movies, he moves to Hollywood. He's a producer, and he's got an actor. And Woody Allen comes out from New York to see what he's doing, and he goes, "Come into the studio. I'll show you what we're doing in the editing." So he's got the editor down, and he goes, "Okay, now here, give me a medium chuckle here, then a nice little laugh here, and then a nice big laugh and applause." He goes, how do you do that? You're not even funny. But they were showing how they throw the laugh tracks in there when the guy wants it. A little chuckle here,
Yeah.
big laughter here.
Oh, yeah. Heck of a story.
Well, it's
How
just
are the sports? Are they
it
great?
shows you how it goes. It's how they sit in there and decide where they want it.
I like HD2 Radio Irish studs and Champions Tour caddies to run trains on my wife to a live audience. Doug,
Oh,
that's from the
gosh,
recovering
of course it
alcoholic
is.
from Belleville and Webster Grove.
Of course it is.
Boo that story. That's
Oh,
from Bud Ice Biscuits and Gravy. He's booing it.
Woody Allen was a huge star until he decided to go a little young on the significant others.
When you marry your daughter.
Yeah. I mean, he was a massive star.
I mean, one little slip up like that.
Yeah. That'll be the end of him. I
Morning,
think he's
Tim.
still around, too, isn't he? I think he's still alive.
He
Yeah,
just
I
did
think
a
we're
new
going to get him
movie.
on at 9.
He just did a new-
87.
He's in
just did a new
studio.
movie. I think he just did a new movie.
Playing at Helium.
I don't know if it's out yet, but he just did a new movie.
Morning, Tim. Anything good on the Captain Dog today? Or are you guys just going to sit there and listen to Story Time with Ken? That's from Babe Truth.
I don't mind story time.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't.
I didn't even tell a story. I talked about a movie. I had a laugh-
And I like having a
They had a
safe
laugh
space,
track in
whereas
it.
morons, we can't be killed.
That's right. No kill. Is that what it's called? No kill moron shelter.
Right. It's nice to have a safe space.
Well, we have a lock on this door, so we're safe.
That story almost made me fall asleep at the wheel. Doug, that's from Colts columnist Brian Engine.
Well, you're not driving. You're sitting at home doing nothing.
Oh, you don't know that for sure. They
He's
drive in
sitting home texting the show.
Indianapolis.
That's all he's doing. All right, I won't talk about laugh tracks.
No, I enjoy laugh track
That's
stories.
how it works.
Yeah.
Good morning. I think when Iggy goes on these monologues, he has his own laugh tracks playing in his head. Thanks. That's from Lil Beercats. Lil with an apostrophe
I didn't
Beercats.
mean it to be funny. I was just telling you how it
It was
works.
informational. Lousy, maybe you need a drop with laughter when one of us says
I have,
something
like,
that's
the
funny.
media
Yeah, the media laugh.
Could we try that?
I mean, yeah, it's not like I would have to load it in to clip that off. It's on Adobe right now. So it's like takes like
Okay.
it's gonna be like a second delay. So I have to anticipate a really funny story.
Yeah, if you hear a story coming, it just might help our show a little bit. Make us feel a little bit better about our lives.
I mean, that's pretty good.
It's
That's
wonderful.
not bad, you know.
We'd have to have that queued up.
We need a bigger
constantly,
laugh,
but-
too. We need one with a little
I want a little chuckle here.
Well, I
belly
could
laugh.
take it from Raby's postcard and try to get one of those.
Oh, sure.
You know, extended laugh
Oh, that's
track.
not
and
bad at all.
probably do that, yeah.
Jeremy Rutherford's going to join us at 9:05, so we do have that on the Captain's Log. Babe Truth. He is presented to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Can't say enough good things about that Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Doug, I had a little situation last week.
Oh,
a little
no.
question.
Really?
That wasn't bad. I needed some life guidance. And who do you go to? You go to Mark Hanna.
Pansy.
Yeah. His number's 314-889-0503, or you can go online at evergreenstl.com. I say this, and I say this adamantly, Yara. Everyone needs a financial advisor. Had I had a financial advisor in my 20s, I'd be retired by now. Retired. But alas, I'm in HD2 country now.
Yeah. No kill zone.
No kill moron shelter?
Yes. The way we talk about Mark Hanna, it sounds like a cross between Mahatma Gandhi and Warren Buffett.
I think that's what it says on his business card.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty nice combination.
It is. I do think the world of that guy, man. 314-889-0503, or go online at evergreenstl.com. I'm sure if I would have checked with him on my Circa picks last week, he would have told me to not take the Commanders. But it's gotten so bad, I had my 6-year-old pick the games, and we went 1-4. Jackson, tell the people about the Circa Millions, which I contributed money to this year, but will not be collecting anything from.
Yeah, Circa Millions is you got the quarterly prizes, and I
That's
think,
right. Don't give up the ship, Doug.
And I think if you come in dead last, there's a booby prize for like
Ooh, I'm live for that.
like $100K or something. So you just keep your head up, keep picking, and things will work out. But in the meantime, you can use the Circa Sports app because now it's available in Illinois. The world's largest sports book in Vegas is now in Illinois. The Circa Sports app is sports betting the way it should be, with big app bets, high betting limits, tight money line splits, and the best customer service. And of course, the Circa Sports app is now available in Illinois. So if you're making some college football plays this weekend, Kentucky's a 3.5-point dog at home, 6 p.m. kick against Tennessee.
Oh, sounds like Jackson touting.
About plus 150 on the money line. Go check it out over at the Circa Sports app. Just drive across the river if you don't live in Illinois, or if you already live in Illinois, sign up for the Circa Sports app. Visit circasports.com for more details and get ready to start betting like a pro. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
There it is, the Circa Millions, and now the app available for St. Louis area residents. And, of course, Design Air Heating and Cooling has a showdown. I'd like to bet on this. Buck Swope and JV Golf Coach deadlocked at 5 for the Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Month standings. Doug, how many more shows do we have in the month of October?
Oh, not many.
1, 2, 3 this week, 4, 5 through All Hallows Eve. Yeah, there you go. Well, let's see who's going to win it. You think it's going to be Buck Swope or JV Golf Coach? Cal's Fight Ear's still alive.
Yeah.
Harvey Paul could still win it.
Come on, Tiger Terry.
Tiger Terry, South
Believe in
City
yourself.
Otis. Yeah, the morning after at InsideSTL.com, Design Air Heating and Cooling. If you've waited to get your furnace tuned up, well, your day of reckoning is upon us.
Right now?
Yeah, next Monday, when it is freezing cold in the St. Louis area. Get it done by going to designairservice.com and working with the great Seth Goldcamp and his staff. You click book now, furnace tune up, they come on out, make sure everything's ready to roll, tune the thing up for the winter months. And now you have worry-free heating for the cold weather in St. Louis. It's designairservice.com. Doug, I've gotten that done. You do it this year?
I haven't done it yet this year. No, I have every other year.
You better do it.
Boy, they keep it.
What are you
running.
waiting for?
Yeah, thank you, Iggy.
Well, I should get on that.
You should. You got about a week.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they've done such a great job in years past. I'm probably fine, I'm sure. But I should. You should have it tuned up every year.
Don't take it for granted. Not now. Not for this winter.
No, it's too dangerous. As cold as it's going to be, I won't make it through a night.
I agree. If it's already going to be like that in October, imagine what it's going to be like in January and February. DesignAirService.com, the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show. New podcast, sewed up yesterday. Barnhart Brawler made a glorious return to the QFTA. He wanted to talk about fatherhood is what he wanted to do.
Oh, did he?
And then people wanted to know the origin story on We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off being the theme song. And I really don't know. I feel like maybe Buck Swope might know. But I gave my theories. I actually had 2 questions sent in a matter of 16 minutes on that, and I have no idea what caused people to want to know about Jermaine Stewart. Was that 86,
I don't
Jackson?
know the years. Tim.
Yes.
86. We don't have to take our clothes off.
It seems like it's been the opening music forever.
I would imagine those guys from Atlanta had a different opening.
Didn't you guys used to have the Ice Cube song?
Express Yourself.
Yeah.
NWA.
Yeah.
O'Shea Jackson
Oh.
left NWA. It's the basis for Straight Outta Compton, the picture. How old is that movie?
I don't know how.
2015.
Ooh, I'm going to say it's older than that.
All right, Straight Outta Compton, 2015.
No! Well, either way. Podcast is up.
Not a big deal.
Wow. The Barnhart Brawler made his glorious return. What did that pantsuit liberal want?
Oh.
It's from Big Tough. Don't you like that term,
Yes,
pantsuit liberal?
very much. Very much enjoy that.
Gentlemen don't wear pantsuits.
I know, but
a
Hillary Clinton did, and she was a liberal, so now
pantsuit liberal.
Pantsuit liberal.
I am very excited for the prospect of Ask Lawrence, massive Larry Lemming here. It's from Dogtown Tie. I talked about it with Tim Burkhardt at lunch a couple days ago. Larry, though, played his cards close to the vest when I asked him about it on Ask Lawrence or WW Recap.
He's probably got other stations wanting him to do
Yeah,
the
I would
same
agree
thing.
with that. I would agree with that. Could see Riz wanting to do it. If only you guys knew how soft and beautifully molded JV golf coach's hole was.
Oh.
You would already have him as your Milagro Tequila
Gosh.
Lister of the Month. That's from Mr. Siders. He has a really nice hole.
He's way up there in the. He's way up there. You know, you gotta consider him with his email prowess.
He's up there in the holes?
I can't really
are you
speak
basing
to his
that on?
whole.
Well, that's what the text was.
Well, yeah, that's certainly an element to consider, but his email prowess certainly puts him in the.
Yeah, but the email was about how nice his hole was.
It's true. Can't deny that. He was at the Hidden Giggle. I didn't really ask him about his whole. That's a miss on my part.
I agree with that.
Wouldn't it have been a little awkward?
Yeah, can't lie to you, it would be.
Now, the listener of the month we vote
Hilarity would
on.
ensue.
Listener of the month we vote on. The email of the month has to
They just win it, Jack.
balls in their own court.
That's right. They control their own destiny. Buck Swope, JV golf coach, you're competing heads up, essentially. Although keep an eye on Harvey Paul. Doug, one of the great things about Major League Baseball is you play 162 games, and if you're in the National League the last 2 years, if you finish with the 6th best record, you go to the World Series. We saw the Phillies last year, and now the Diamondbacks. The 6th seed heads to the World Series after stunning the Philadelphia Phillies last night. Here is the call of the Diamondbacks winning the National League Championship Series.
Ball to strike away. Here he comes. Cave, a fly ball to right field. Over is Carroll. He's got it. And the Arizona Diamondbacks are headed to the World Series. The Diamondbacks have won the National League pennant. And the Fall Classic will return to the desert for the first time in 22 years.
Arizona lost 88 games last year. I think 100 the year before that.
110, I thought.
Yeah. And the Rangers lost 100 2 years ago. You can turn around in a hurry.
That's right.
All these teams that have been in the playoffs have just lights out relief pitching. I
Boy,
mean,
isn't
they
that
come
true?
in
How
throwing
about Kevin
gas.
Ginkel last night, Billy?
Yeah. Phillies had a great chance in the 7th, couple on, and Turner and Harper at the plate. He got them both.
Harper said he missed the barrel by a 1/10 of a second. He
Yeah.
flew out to left center, and that was pretty much it. Ginkel he struck out the side in the 8th. Brought him in a little early, and
Yeah.
he was able to deliver. He was their closer before they acquired Sewald from the Mariners at the trade deadline, and he was able to deliver, and the Phillies went down with a whimper. So Fox got what they wanted, the Rangers-Diamondbacks World Series, and that should challenge the Cardinals and Tigers for one of the all-time highest-rated World
think.
Series.
A lot of players you've never heard of unless you really follow baseball closely.
Oh, I bet the ratings will be fun.
The unfortunate part about this, though, Doug, is that it's going to lead to the retirement of Chris Mad Dog Russo,
Yeah.
who announced that he was so confident the Diamondbacks would not win the series when they were down 3-2 heading back to Philadelphia that he said he would resign/retire on the spot if he were to do that. His co-host on, is it High Heat that's on the MLB Network, Alana Rizzo, she got in trouble a couple weeks ago for attacking the media credentials of the people who talked about, who was it, Orlando Arcia of the Braves when he said, nice job, Harper, or whatever the hell it was. Well, they made news yesterday. Mad Dog said when he said he was going to retire, he was retiring from radio, not television. So maybe he really is. And then when she followed up on it, he goes, my contract's up anyway. So maybe he really is going to retire from radio, but he said he's not retiring from television. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks started to chant his name during the celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody say loser.
How would you handle that if you were him? You know, he was kind of half kidding about that.
You just go
what does he
in
do
and don't
now?
care?
Do you go in and take the rest of the week off and come back on Monday, or what would you do?
Maybe it was an easy exit plan for him. He was kind of getting tired of it anyway, and it
was still highly
60s with millions and
highly unlikely that Arizona was going to win.
That's right. You're right.
So I'm sure that he thought that he was making the right bet. I don't know what he'll do on this.
Yeah, I'll make a joke of it probably.
Probably so. I don't know. If he's under contract, he can't just quit right in the middle, I wouldn't think, without facing legal problems.
Wouldn't that be funny? You go, look, guys, I gave a take on air. I got to abide by it. I'm only $20 million on the table.
It's just content. They got play all over the country. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, probably.
Last night at 9:27, Doug, game was not over yet. Diamondbacks were up. He tweeted 3 sweating emojis. At 9:42, he tweeted a GIF that had the following caption, "Enjoy your retirement." And then at 10:05, his son, Tim Russo, who is also assistant coach for the men's basketball team at Northern Arizona, posted on the Twitter tweets, "America, please don't let Pops retire. Can't have him following me around Flagstaff." At 10:22, let's see, Doug, I'm updating this. FanDuel posted, "Congratulations on your retirement, Mad Dog," which Russo subsequently reshared on his account. The D-backs chanted his name during their celebration. So we will be monitoring this story and Ryan Wingo throughout the day here on HD2.
He's kind of in a tough spot. I mean, he's going to look like a fraud if he doesn't retire, and there's probably contractual reasons why he can't without facing a lawsuit.
Are people taking it serious?
Oh, there'll be a lot of keyboard gangsters who will go nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I just didn't take it as seriously. And now, if he does retire at that, do we get that time slot? The TMA happened to...
Is he on HD2?
We're live, but Doug, you were adamant in your deal that you only would be on HD2.
It's my home, Tim. It's a no-kill moron shelter for me.
That was the one thing that I almost didn't sign because I was like, wow, all these guys are going to retire eventually. We could be on Sirius. But I took it. And I don't regret it. HD2 is where we should be.
I agree.
This is where radio people go when they're not really wanted in the mainstream. Let them go in this closet and let them think they're on the radio. And they won't do anything crazy. They'll get out of our hair. They'll stop asking us for jobs.
It's like handing a kid a Mr. Microphone and saying, oh, yeah, you're on stage.
Right. Very similar.
MLB's getting a World Series it deserves after expanding the playoffs. That's from Vianney's hottest mom. Wow, another female listener.
The Cardinals won 2 World Series in about the same way.
That's right, but they did win the National League Central in one of them, and they were, how many wins? Did they have 90 wins in 2011? 90 wins?
I know, they got in on the last day in 2006.
The last day in 2011.
90 wins.
This was an 84-win team. The 2006 Cardinals an 83-win team, but they won the National League Central. The Diamondbacks a 6th seed. This year, the Phillies a 6th seed. Last year, the Rangers were a 5 seed this year, but they had the same number of wins. The Astros both had 90 wins. A little parity in the American League West, Doug. A little parity. Mariners in there.
Yeah, Rangers won 90 this year. I think they'll win. I think the Rangers are really
Did any
good.
home teams win games in these two series?
Not in the ALCS. Diamondbacks were down 2-0 going back to Arizona, and they won the first two. Phillies won Game 5. Phillies kind of blew one of those games, and that's when the series turned. But they did win Game 5, and
Both Arizona and Texas won games 6 and 7 on the road.
Doug, you always say Nick Castellanos is pleasant.
He's not a real pleasant guy.
And he went 0 for 20 in games 2 through 7.
This is after he smarted off to Matt Weiner.
That's right.
One
And
of the nicest guy you'll ever
Matt
meet.
Weiner's a hornet, isn't he?
No, he isn't. He isn't. That cost him dearly.
Guys, World Series MVP, would you go with Tommy Pham, Zach Gallen, Jordan Montgomery, Chris Stratton, or Dallas Garcia? Thanks. It's in the 314.
Ouch. Probably Garcia. That's who I'd go with. Because he'll play in every game. Montgomery won't. Montgomery will throw a shutout, sure. But he'll only pitch twice, probably.
Aaron Nola said after the game that he hopes to return to Philadelphia. Of course, what else do you say in that spot? It'd be weird if he said otherwise.
Yeah, it would be really weird if he said, I'm going to the Cardinals.
That would be so funny.
They just finished last, and that's where I'm going.
Because I just signed. You guys didn't get the news?
Yeah, I talked to Mo before the game. I think I'm probably leaving here.
Look, when you have a chance to have Ollie Marmol coach you, it's a no-brainer that you go somewhere else.
Did you see the Cardinals fire their director of security yesterday? Apparently they had some group phone call with other business leaders in St. Louis. I'm not sure what they were talking about. And he said some things that upset the Cardinals so much that they fired him right after the phone call. Didn't mean to bring the show to a grinding halt there. I just thought I'd toss it in.
So what happened?
So they fired him.
I understand, but what did he say during the
They didn't say,
conversation?
they didn't say what he said. Apparently, it happened right after that break-in at their Dominican Republic complex.
So he just popped off.
And he was talking about security, and he must have said something that was politically incorrect. Or, I don't know. They didn't say what he said, but it had to be pretty rough for them to fire him right after the phone
What
call.
a strange deal that is.
Yeah.
Making room for Yachty.
So Yachty's going to be director of security?
No, he's not.
He's got to start low.
I bet the
Work their way
security guard is going, we need at least 2 starters, and Mo goes, I don't like that guy.
He's
not a guard.
for security.
He's not a guard. He's the head of the whole security for the stadium.
Walk out of the stadium. There's Yachty. You pay for that bobblehead?
Can I see your
Come
credentials?
With me. Come with me.
And that-
He'd be good at it.
yeah, the walkie-talkie that's on his shoulder.
He's down there by Aggie's office doing the metal thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Guys, my understanding is the security guard didn't respond to most text messages fast enough. That's from Jimmy Buffett's cute feet.
That'll get you.
Is that what happened? Let's see. This is terrible news for the Cardinals now with back-to-back 6 seeds going to the World Series in the National League. They'll absolutely use this to justify their just-get-in philosophy and continue to not spend to improve the team. Doug, that's from Midge or Mad.
I don't
Midge
think
or
that's,
Mad.
That's not true at all. They're not going to say, geez, if we can just finish 6th. They're not going to do that. They're going to build the best team they possibly can and hope to win the division.
Plowek, do you agree with Doug's belief?
I just want to know how much Mozeliak paid you for that little...
You've been paid
What
now?
else would they do? What else would you try to do but build the
You
best team
sounded
you
like
possibly
the biggest Mo mouthpiece I've ever heard, Doug.
can? You really think they have organizational meetings and they say, well, let's not be too good because Arizona got in, so we don't want to be too good?
100% didn't say that, but it was just how you said, well, of course, they're going to try their very best to put the best possible
So
team
you
out
think
there.
Doug is now on Mozeliak's payroll?
Maybe not payroll, but
Like cash transaction?
maybe time to time just pops in and goes, hey, Doug, having bad PR this week. You want to shout me out on the radio?
Well, I understand where Plowsy comes from after last year signing no one.
Shot at the Wilson Contreras
Well,
deal.
yeah, but they needed pitching. They got none. And now they need it again this year, even more.
Well, they may not make the right moves,
But I believe
they'll try
I
to.
believe they go in the offseason saying, we got to upgrade here. What can we do? They don't just sit there and say, we don't need anything. Who
6th is
cares?
good enough. Yeah.
We got $3 million coming in. We don't need any good players. I mean, they try. They don't always succeed.
No, nobody does. Nobody always succeeds. Yankees, Boston, Dodgers came up short. Nobody always succeeds.
Padres had the 3rd highest payroll, parted ways with their manager. They only finished 2 games behind the National League champion, Arizona Diamondbacks. They were 82 and 80 this year, and that could open the door for Mike Schilt to return to a managerial position. He has been with the Padres organization the last few years. Bob Melvin returning to San Francisco, wanting to get away from the situation in San Diego.
Didn't the Mets spend $600 million in the offseason, something like that?
They got a couple of them off the books, though, I think.
And what,
They
what
traded
good did that do
Verlander.
them?
I mean, nothing. I realize that.
But the Rangers did spend, and it's got them in the World Series.
Phillies spent, and it got them to the NLCS.
You know, you just never know.
Derek Gould's chat exchange. Doug, I want to hear the truth about Yachty. I can have love for his play and leadership, but perhaps an article about pros, cons, and concerns would shed some light. From a novice point of view, Yachty wants to come here, but we're not pulling the trigger? On the surface, that makes no sense. So I encourage you to write about that to enlighten us. The question is, will you? It's from Derek Gould. I'm sure he paused and wondered about wanting to continue to do this for a living. And then he wrote, I cannot write such a story when there's no evidence that that is what is happening. As detailed above, to your previous question, the indications are that it's a two-sided conversation. Molina's comments are clear. He wants to be involved in the organization. The Cardinals' comments to the Post-Dispatch are clear. They want to find the right fit for him in the organization. It is possible that the two sides are doing just that, discussing where that fit is. So I can't write about the team, quote, not pulling the trigger, an odd phrase to use, honestly, when that isn't what's going on at all. It would be dishonest to readers like you. So there you go.
Man, him and Gabe, that's a tough uphill climb day to day for what they do.
Yeah.
The Colonel is experiencing
different
the most
now.
positive time, I think, since he's had Power Mizzou. Now, if Ryan Wingo all of a sudden announces at 4 o'clock today at the University High School that he's going to Texas, all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. But as far as what's going on with recruiting with the football team and basketball team, the athletic director has incredible equity and momentum in Desiree Reed-Francois. And Missouri's playing its biggest game in November on the road. I don't know since when. I have Howard Richards coming up on Balloon Party today at 10:15. Maybe one of the teams he was on? Hell, I don't know.
No, I don't either.
But biggest game in November on the road in my lifetime. I do believe that, or maybe I was an infant. And so, yeah, everything's moving in the right direction. But when you have a team that's coming off of a last-place finish and the belief going into this season before they even finished in last place was what in the hell are they doing with this pitching staff? And the one guy they signed, they moved from catcher to announcing anyway that he was going to be a corner outfielder, which people always thought he was either a left fielder or a catcher.
Yeah, that's who we wanted out there.
Right. And then he just became DH for half of the remaining games. People are a little concerned about the judgment in the front office, but fortunately they haven't let players go for nothing. And
Well, no more than a half dozen or so that are now all-stars.
I was about to say give or take 6.
Yeah.
Well, they helped Texas get to the World Series.
Yeah, they did. It could be that they need a top-notch pitching coach more than a catching coach. Because they have had pitchers leave here and become much better.
Well, they had
They've
one, and then he
struggled-
goes, I don't want to work with Ollie, so I'm going to fake a 2-week retirement.
Right.
And, well, look, I'm coaching in the World Series.
Right. It's probably not a coincidence. I mean, they had Cabrera, a left-hander, throwing upper 90s and couldn't figure out anything to do with him, gave him away.
I mean, Pham, Gallen, Garcia, Montgomery,
Alcantara.
and then, no, I'm talking just in the World Series, and then Mike Maddox, the bench coach.
Pitching coach.
Yeah.
Pitching coach, excuse me, sorry.
Well,
go ahead.
I'm sure every team has lost some players.
I'm not saying that.
I know you're not. I'm just saying it hurts even more when you just finish in last place, because there are guys that have come from teams all over baseball that are playing on these teams that are in the World Series. The Cardinals are a little more pronounced than other teams maybe right now, but this stuff happens, and it's magnified by the fact they just had their worst year in many, many years.
Real talk. You like that when somebody says real talk?
Yeah, like we've been fake talking before this. We didn't mean any of this other stuff we've said.
49 minutes of fake
Let's
talk.
get right
now we're
down
getting
to
real.
it.
I think the boys in the studio are actively trying to ignore Jackson and keep him out of the discussions on the show. It's from Howard Thompson in the YouTube chat.
What?
And I have to say, and I don't know what kind of prizes we have to give away, maybe a Fox Sports robot, but Howard Thompson has once again cracked the code.
He has.
The four of us in here.
How did he know?
I got the note right here.
Yep.
Said leave him out of it.
That's from John Kiowski. But yeah, we have gotten together. Jackson, obviously, a difficult guy to get along with. And
our tactic changed as we have in Jackson. How
well, there's the
hostile
one
he
with the
is.
5 of us, and then there's the real one with just the 4 of us. And Jackson, sorry, that's just kind of the way the
He's
4 of us
out.
in here feel.
No, I get it. I know I can be a real burr in people's saddle.
Cockleburr, Doug.
Yeah, I know I can be
He's
a real
loved by
thorn.
everybody here. He works harder than anybody on the show. But we don't want him to talk.
There's certain conversations where I feel my opinion or perspective is important, and on this certain one, I do not feel like it is.
Silence is golden, Pale.
Yeah.
Jump in whenever you want.
No,
I
I know.
don't know anything.
I think Jackson waiting for a really bad take by me and kind of makes himself look like a savant, which is a very smart move.
Well, I just, I don't have much to add to the discussion, so probably best I get a little work done, hang out back here.
Doesn't stop me.
Well, what if we were to talk NBA now? Would you join the discussion?
Then I would feel like my perspective could be valuable.
How
to the
about these
show.
hoopsters and how they're hitting their jumpers?
Right.
How about this tall lass you were with at homecoming for that game against Shane Beamer in South Carolina?
Oh, gosh.
You with the shooting guard?
Shane Beamer's Aircast. What's up?
Did you buy her a corsage?
Corsage? What?
Did you go to the homecoming dance?
Yeah, I feel like we've done this before, but
Do they have dances in college? I'm
Nope,
sorry.
nope,
Okay.
nope,
I
nope.
figured I just had
school
to-
of about 30,000 people does not
Didn't
have
homecoming used to be a dance? They have a
Mizzou
homecoming
started
queen,
homecoming.
and you,
In high school. Maybe it was when they started, I think in 1911, is what I heard. It
What's the
probably
difference
was
between-
back then.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a homecoming and a prom?
Oh, gosh. I
Well,
wasn't
prom-
prepared for that.
Prom, I think, is just for high school. Homecoming is some Mizzou start. They claim to start. I'm sure there's other schools that claim to start homecoming as well, but it was just something to get alumni back and hang out.
It's hard to talk when that pale twink has my ball gag in.
Oh.
That's from the recovering alcoholic
Yeah.
from Bella Westbrook. He's so dominant with Jackson and Sweet Sweet Kai and so submissive to me and Wellington.
He plays both sides of the fence.
Yeah, I know, and it's like I don't understand that dynamic, but I'll take it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So is life.
Well, Jackie is the anti-Ken. He has self-awareness and recognizes when his input isn't necessary. Meanwhile, that windbag scrotal sack is a guru on every single topic, from aliens to retirement plans. That comes from the parking lot, too, and a guy on a trike, his name is Little Tommy Tribbins. Angry as a hornet.
I said that, Trips. I said, it doesn't stop me from talking. I don't need to know about the topic to talk.
Another element is I'm not in the studio proper. I'm in
Why don't you come on in? The water's warm. We got a chair.
Yeah, I like my little zone. So sometimes, you can't pick up on who's talking next or this, that, and the other. So it's better just to kind of insert myself when I feel the moment.
I like a little cubby hole.
It's nice. I like it. I like being with you boys. I like being on camera, but
You prefer to sit in a phone booth?
no.
It's basically where you are.
If the other mic was was in a better spot, and the camera thing is kind of weird we do with that one, so it's just easier for me to bet.
Are there any phone booths anymore?
Why?
I see a phone
When's the last
booth?
time you saw one of those?
I don't believe
Airport?
so.
Airport has like a phone bank.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll see a phone, but not a booth.
Yeah, if you don't have, I think I talked about this once, at least 10 years ago, if you don't have your own cell phone and like you're in your car, your phone dies if you lost it, it's hard to make a call anywhere. You can't just pop in somewhere and make a call. They don't have phones, public phones.
No, you pretty much have to go in some place and say, can I borrow your phone?
You would, yeah.
Yeah, but do you know anybody's number anyways?
No.
Me either.
So
like,
where's
you
my
get to-
contact
You get
list?
to the phone, you go, oh, wait, my
Yeah.
contact list is dead.
Yeah, I don't know my kids' phone numbers.
I know Madison's.
Guys, I talked to Pally yesterday. She saw his 3-hour Lisa Ann wine fest, and she says he never had any chance with her. Zero. None ever. She does like older guys, but prefers ones with money. That comes from Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month, January 2023, Beer Cats. Iggy, you talked about... You talked about Pally?
I don't believe so. And it wasn't 3 hours, but...
And doesn't everyone prefer a significant other with money?
Right, like
Wouldn't everyone prefer that?
Well, it's kind of shallow.
Yeah, but nonetheless.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
but
just
you
said
do
it. I
that
didn't say
too.
it. He's the one that said she likes older guys with money.
Nobody wants to have sex with me now!
Well, guys would like girls with money too, wouldn't they?
World-class drop.
Yeah, but it's not a prerequisite.
No, it isn't, but you just assume that they be rich than poor.
How do you figure this out though? Like, how do gold diggers how do they know they're
How do
loaded?
women know when a guy is loaded?
Either one.
They talk and
Women
say,
or
"What do you
women."
do for a living? Where do you live? What do you driving?"
Haven't you been to parties in the park?
It's not hard.
Jeez,
You just that came from way down deep in your gullet.
I feel like that came from almost the anus, but all the way up.
Save the big pieces for soup. Big chunks came out.
Just a little belch.
Oh. What, Plowsy, it's not hard for a girl to know when a guy's got some money.
They could just turn on HD2 and just scan.
Yeah. Well, there's 5 that are loaded.
Yeah. And to answer his question, that'd be false.
What?
I forgot what the question was now.
I don't know. I thought it was a statement from Beer Cats.
Well, Pally said I had no shot with her, so somebody's lying.
You know what's funny about no money, or like I was. This is one of the funniest things ever. I told you I went to Donut Drive-In on Sunday.
Yeah. The chocolate long johns.
Yeah, huge line, which I don't mind at all. Go quick. So I'm like kind of in the middle of the line, waiting on the sidewalk, and the Melville fire chief is behind me. I talked to him, just having a small chit chat. Super nice guy. So we talk about my hoodie, and I talk about the show, and
Sure you did.
the next thing goes, "Oh, what else you do?"
Yeah.
Oh, it really humbled me.
And what was your answer to that?
I said, "No, that's a full-time gig." That's
Really?
almost the last conversation we had, but he was great.
You didn't
Nothing
offer to
else.
help put out a fire or anything?
No, he said he interned at 18 and he was 59,
Intern with the fire department?
and retiring this year in December.
Good for
I
him.
love to chat with random people all the time, but he was really good.
Boy, they see some things, people in those jobs.
Yeah, both of his sons are involved as well. And obviously he's paying me to say this, so yeah, the Melville Fire Department, great.
Takes a certain kind of guy to do that, or guy or woman, to want to be a firefighter and know that you're going to risk your life at times and you're going to see some horrible things, but you're always there to serve and help other people. Takes a really quality person to do that.
Caller Ellen says there are enough phonies out there that a woman should want to see a man's credit report to make sure he really has money. Caller Ellen wants to see credit reports. Not bad.
Look, if I have money and a girl goes, "I want to see credit cards today," I'm out.
Like your credit rating?
Like-
She wants to see one of those 3 companies that rate your
You can log into
credit?
CreditWise account and your Capital One account. All right, here we go. Okay.
So Ellen wouldn't be offended if somebody took her out and said, "I want to see your bank account before we go out"?
Caller Ellen, the action's back on you, or you can call in at 636-9004-TMA. Meanwhile, Erin with the nipple rings is in the YouTube chat, and she says he definitely said, quote, "I could have had Pally, but I'm fairly certain he was kidding." That's Erin, and she has nipple rings.
Well, then Beercast must have been in that chat and asked me the question or said something, because I just wouldn't say that. For no
Hello,
reason at
Vivian?
all. I wouldn't have brought it up again unless he brought it up, and he was in the chat. So
Polly had eyes for you?
no.
Holly.
So, you had eyes for her. I like that. Had
No,
eyes
I'm pretty
for.
sure. I'm pretty sure if I would have asked her out, she said yes.
Wow.
How could any girl resist
Don
your
Juan
charms?
over here.
How long ago was this? Like now? Or a few years back?
They call me Snickers because I'm guaranteed to satisfy.
I don't have those kind of lines in that swab. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Caller Ellen says 800 plus.
800 credit rating plus.
Yeesh.
Yeah, that's good.
So you're in?
Whatever, about 790. Yeah, I should have good credit. I've always been paid my bills on time. I paid off a car. So, I don't know what else you need.
My student loans are the one thing that, like, kind of rocking it. But, like, yeah, mine in good shape.
Sometimes crazy little things you do affect it.
Did I tell you about
Credit rating.
when I was trying to get the apartment I'm in now 3 years ago? My landlord did a strict background check, and the apartment I had 4 or 5 years prior said I owed money when I didn't, because I actually had, like, I save all my end of the, lease kind of paperwork and make sure it's all paid up. Yeah, it hit my credit score 80 points. But it's all back to normal now, because you go through that whole process, and they obviously were in the wrong. But at the time, it's like, dude, one little thing will just mess it up. It was like $286. It was nothing. I didn't owe it either, but they said I did, and that just completely caused like a domino effect.
Yeah.
So you got to watch out for that. That's why I like the credit card I have now. You can check it weekly.
They say it's smart
I think that's key.
for young people, high school or college people, to get a credit card. make a couple of buys on it, not big ones, just buys, and pay it off, and instantly you start to establish a credit rating that's pretty good.
I'm terrified of it, so I think I'm 28, 27.
Yeah, just makes it easier to get a loan on a car or
Yeah.
a house if you want to buy it, if you've proven that you've paid off your credit card.
800 plus narrows the field to about 5% of the population. I am included, but I'm taken. That's from Morrison Woods Whack.
All of our listeners are included in that.
Oh,
The
no.
highest possible credit
I've
score.
seen Morrison Woods. He definitely he just had that 800 swag. You know, like
Yeah. Let's see what the average credit rating is.
Yeah, what do you think? I don't even know.
695 would be my guess.
I like that number, Plowhawk.
All
Right,
over under
because right
695.
below average. I think at this point in time, that's about
Might
right.
be lower.
I'll take under.
Really? Yeah.
650.
I'll go 1.
695 is my answer. But yeah, actually, maybe right, maybe a little lower.
It says the average FICO score is 711. The average Vantage score is 688.
Okay, so it's right in the middle. Yeah.
I win with Vantage.
A guy with an 800 plus credit score is buried in debt, Ellen. Get back in the kitchen and let the men talk in the parlor. Don't you like that? The men in the parlor?
Damn.
With our smoking jackets.
And they have to an altar boy. We're in the parlor, Doug? I thought we were in a no-kill moron shelter.
Isn't that, where,
Sometimes you go to those old houses, they do have a little parlor in the front of the house.
isn't that where Ellie Mae courted her dates?
Yeah.
I have a 787 score here. Thanks. That's from Bud Ice Biscuits and Gravy. Doug, people are sending in their credit scores now.
But these are just
That's
numbers
important.
that they're sending. Right? Like in 787, good. I'm sure he's not lying, but like now it's going to start to trickle to like we have just.
Maybe the people will start sending in their wives, their height, and their weight, and their credit scores on the program.
And if they're cut.
Yeah, that's right.
No pictures of that, please.
That was the one question
Hood or no
in,
hood.
the, in the AOL chat rooms. ASL. Age, sex, location.
Location, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, that was huge.
And it was always a guy, but they'd say 27 female.
I'm Cindy, 24, California.
Yeah. The kind of girls that can't ever meet anybody.
Yeah. Iggy.
So I have to be talking online
Iggy.
at 1:30 in the morning.
Iggy, 35, St. Louis, I just say. Cindy, 22, Huntley, California.
Now, why would you say that? Because you know that would attract a man and not a woman.
It's a good question.
Well, you're supposed to be. You're in a Biff for Biff chat room, bi interested female for bi interested female, so you figure there's all girls in there.
If
That's
I
the
know,
chat room you went into.
I met a few lesbians in my day. There's no way they'd be in a chat room meeting girls. So it's all guys.
Of course.
Like, there's no way a lesbian goes, man, I'm right.
I miss
to
those
see what
days.
frisky females.
Those were fun evenings just sitting in the chat room.
May I join you?
He absolutely said in that video that he could have had Pally. It's even in the Buck Swope edit. Social media's forever, Iggy. Careful what you say. That's from Beer Cats. Doug, and he won the Milagro Tequila Lister of the
Yes, he
Month.
did.
And
Well, I said it on the show, too, so I'm not hiding anything.
Look at Mr. Felch. He actually sent in his
Mr.
FICO.
Clip
What
that off.
is wrong with this?
somebody sent in a screenshot of their.
A FICO.
Doug, I don't see Mr. Felch's text.
824.
824
Mazel
is
tov.
exceptional, man.
Yeah.
And what did Swope edit? He took my video on my Facebook page and edited it and put it on the dumb fan page?
He clipped it up.
Yeah, let's edit to make it sound like Iggy's telling all kinds of lies.
Well, it was more, I would say, like a highlight reel. You know, highlight reel. They're not doctoring the video.
Why do you take stuff off of my page and put it there? Just like somebody took my speech from my Hall of Fame induction and put it on the fan page. Why does everything have to go up there? I'm
Well,
not
the
there to
person
say
who was
anything, so
there-
put my stuff up there.
On your thing, the person who was there was actually a listener, so it went directly on the fan page.
He just did it live on the fan
Yeah,
page.
he
What's
actually
doing?
he did. Yeah.
Jesus.
Isn't that wild? He was there with somebody. I think he just so happened to be there because one of his friends or uncles was a legendary bowler. I forgot. But a listener actually posted a separate video, not your video, on the fan page. But as far as the outside Hubbard one, somebody did. Yeah, they did post it on the.
Doug,
What?
there's a girl texting in.
Who would that be?
She says she's 5'4" and 115 pounds. Bill's wife.
It is Bill's wife?
Now, she acknowledges he's probably a little plump for Cletus, but she says she's 5'4" and 115 pounds.
Little heavy.
Bill's wife.
Well, 6 foot, 80 pounds is a little heavy for Cletus.
KG in O-Town says he's 5'9", 215, 820 credit score. No kids, South City, and he's cut.
No. 5'9", 215? Is
I
that
don't
what he said?
remember anybody asked, but
Yeah, he's a husky guy. He looks like a catcher, and that's exactly what he was in college.
I'm 801 and I pay off my credit cards every month. That's from the Hunchback of Von Castle. And Dougie sent in a screenshot of his credit report.
Did he get his
done
credit
with the
card
humble-
number?
I'm done with the humble brag.
Expiration date, please, and security code.
Where are the grinders out there?
They probably put it on there because it's a TMA fan page, which means they're fans of TMA. Some big pick energy.
All right, well, it wasn't a TMA thing. It was just me sitting there talking.
God, we have 2 or 3 conversations going on at the same time.
Well, I just answer as they come in.
There's one about Polly. There's one about credit scores. It's hard for me to keep up. I'm so tired.
Well, I enjoyed the credit score chatter, but time to get back to Ken, who seemingly recovered emotionally and is back with a vengeance. Also, why does Tim only read texts from women? Thanks, that's from number 1 Asian intern, or Asian female listener, Brian Henshin. I mean, Patty Bowling Ball. Dougie's going by Patty Bowling Ball now.
Iggy, you've about had it with Henshin, haven't you?
Does a great job with the Colts, though.
Yeah.
Hey, show me one article he's done on the Colts.
I don't know. I
You won't
suppose you
find
could look
one.
it up.
Probably
you
that.
You won't find one.
I'm 6'3", 220, 36 years old, and cut, unfortunately. It's from Mr. Phelps. He is
No.
unhappy about being circumcised.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would. You had no say-so on a thing.
Well, you were about a day old at the time.
No, I'm saying you had no say-so. What if you get older and you say, what is this? Where's the rest of my stuff?
I don't think anyone says that because it's all you've ever had. It's just your normal.
Well, you go in the shower and you see somebody that doesn't look like you. You wonder what happened there.
But everybody looks like you now.
I don't.
That's
Think
what I
about
mean.
that.
I think you're the exception.
Yeah, I don't think we could afford circumcision.
Oh,
What percentage of the audience buys their cars at an everybody gets approved car lot and makes their car payments weekly? It's from the Morrison Woods Wacko. It sounds like he isn't really high on the disposable income of this audience.
no, he's not.
That's one of the greatest feelings. We have both of our vehicles paid off. That is one of the best.
Look at you
feelings.
and your credit score.
I mean, I never really had big car payment. The van was the most expensive car I ever
Yeah.
owned. Most of the time, I paid them in cash. Old lady is $800,000 here or there.
Yeah.
No car payments outside of when the Jeep got stolen.
But you're still living down there.
Yeah, there was something going on. I don't know if anybody lives in South City, but I'm walking the dogs and there was 2 police helicopters, and it sounded at least like 50 cop cars racing by. Saw
50?
Saw 2 or 3 huge police vans going
Yeah.
down as well off of Olythia Kings Highway. I didn't watch the news. But yeah, that was crazy.
There were 4
dude.
business break-ins last night down around Broadway in
Nah,
South
it's
St.
too far.
Louis.
Too far from me in terms of like this is around my area.
I saw an article just this morning that said the recovery since COVID, since 2019, St. Louis ranks dead last among American cities in the activity and recovery
Bro, how
of
do
its
they judge
downtown
that?
area.
What do they do? Like
I don't remember all the criteria, but it had us
probably
ranked.
open businesses.
Had us
and
ranked dead last. Yeah,
retail.
people moving out, and we've
I see
not
that.
recovered well, to say the least.
Well, I go down there and I love it.
Yeah, especially when your Jeep gets stolen. It's exciting to think that someone you don't know with a handgun was right outside your house stealing your car. That's thrilling.
I love it because I was outside with the dogs in like my underwear, like, and I'm like, where's my car at?
If you stumble on someone stealing a car, let them have it,
Oh,
because the
you can have
police say
whatever
all
the-
these guys are armed.
They can have whatever the hell they want with mine.
Yeah.
I have nothing of value, like literally nothing.
You know, I do notice, though, like there was a car jacking last night, and they took the car and they found it wrecked a couple miles away. My next-door neighbor had his car stolen from our parking lot about 2 months ago. They found it wrecked about 3 miles away. One of my best friends had his car stolen. They found it a mile away, wrecked. Can't these people steal cars drive?
Well, some are minors,
But they're not chased.
who
They're
may
not being
even
chased. They just drive it and wreck it.
Well, like I said, some are minors. They have the minors do their dirty work, and they're stealing for them, so they get charged as minors and not adults if they get caught. So they may not even have a driver's license. They may be hopped up on drugs. Who knows?
Man,
be.
mine had golf clubs, a 30 brick of water, blankets, and a full tank of gas. I bet they made it to Arkansas.
They may have.
And then wrecked it.
Well, they never found mine, which is probably best in terms of insurance payout. No offense. I mean, You know, 'cause if they found it and it's not totaled, I'm waiting for an uninsured person to pay for the expenses of my vehicle. My insurance goes up anyways.
Yeah.
Might as well get that payout.
These are not corporate attorneys and physicians stealing your car. These are the dirtbags of the world.
I guess, but you at least steer a wheel. Like, we've driven it enough. Let's run it into the guardrail and run.
Jackson, what do we have going on here?
Oh.
We have breaking news via Buck Swope.
So yeah, Buck Swope sent me the audio from Iggy's live stream.
Oh, God, I said it.
Talking about Pally.
I said if you asked the question, I probably answered it. He was in the chat, Beercast, so he probably said something about Pally. But I've said it on the show like a week ago I said it, or 2 weeks ago. That's how it came up. I'm not saying I didn't say it. We don't need proof. I'll go ahead and play it if you want. I don't really care, but I know I said it. Yeah. So what?
Wonder what
We're playing it, right? We're going to play this?
Oh, sure.
All right,
Go ahead.
Oh, listen to that.
All right, Beercast, have a great day. Tell Pally I said hi. There you go. Hopefully a new boyfriend's working out for her.
What is it?
Could have edited,
lighter light.
Edit the dead air. I could have had her. There you go. I said it. Good job, Buck. I think that's a given. All the dead air. All the dead air.
That was at the restaurant?
If you're editing it, you could.
But where were you when this happened?
Just lighting a lighter.
Lighting a cigarette.
Well, what's all the background noise?
That's the fountain outside.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Oh, this was in your talk the other day.
Oh, this is the other day. Okay, I thought this was
Iggy live talk in front of the fountain.
That makes sense. I was like, another video to where it sounds like you're skydiving, but okay. I didn't know you talked about it. I didn't get through the hour. I did see the
I don't blame you. I don't even remember what I said.
Yeah. Where do you get your confidence? I think a lot of us would like to have the kind of confidence and swagger that you've got.
Why don't you take some of Lisa Ann stuff out of there? You can break that down. You take Pally out of there.
We did. Played that Monday.
That is true.
On the show?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was 2 days ago. Long time ago.
On Golden Pond.
2 days ago.
What the hell did I just listen to? It's from Sesame Timbers.
Yeah, I don't know. It's stupid.
What the hell broadcast was that from? Raging Rivers? Raging Rivers. It's cool and it's hot. Brian Henshin. Who on God's earth was asking you to go live? That's from Mr. Licks.
Nobody did. But I guess the 50 people that watched were happy I did. How about that?
At least do it from a quieter location. Or get a microphone that's up close to your yapper.
I don't care. You heard me, didn't you?
But audio quality is important in this business.
It's a nice little fountain in the background.
Can someone give me a quick history of this Pally gal? Who the F is she? And why does Iggy think he has a chance? That's from Bill's wife, who is actually a female.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you can go look her up on Facebook. I'm sure there's not a lot of P-A-L-L-I-Es on there. Pally Coleslaw.
And how old a gal is she?
Can you imagine having
I don't even want to guess, because if I do, if I'm wrong, I'll get
What's his
trash for it.
ballpark? 20s and 30s, somewhere in there?
Mid-30s, late 30s, I would guess.
Okay. Right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a wheelhouse.
Yeah. There's no woman safe from your charms. But I think you could have had. I do think you could have had her.
I don't know. I do know, but...
Oh, Doug.
The swagger right there. There it is. Gosh, I wish I had that kind of confidence.
I have some confidence in Glenn Betts Jewelers, Doug, and if I had that kind of swag, I'd be getting the ladies' jewelry from Glenn Betts Jewelers left and right. It is a mile east of the I-270 in Manchester exit in De Pere. Glenn, 2 N's, Betts with a Z, Jewelers. Go in there and see Craig and David. Wonderful people, loyal listeners of this program. You get to this time of year and people start thinking about getting engaged.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then go into Glenn Betts Jewelers and support the sponsors. The Glenn Betts difference is there you are served personally. You're not sold. Glenn Betts Jewelers develops relationships through generations of your family as well. They have been in business since 1941 and operated now by the 3rd and 4th generation of the Betts family. It's Glenn Betts Jewelers.com, located 1 mile east of 270 on Manchester in De Pere. In the jewelry business, there is good, there is better, and then there is Betts. The Betts family passion for serving their customers has been passed down from generation to generation. Support the sponsors. Looking to get engaged, looking for holiday presents. Glenn Betts Jewelers.com on Manchester Park behind the building in De Pere. Jackson, tell me about your hair and why it's so lush.
It is getting more and more lush by the day. That's because of our friends over at St. Louis Hair Restoration. I went and got a consultation with them. They took a look at my head and said, we hear what you're talking about. We understand your concerns, but there's things we can do. First, take some finasteride. It's an easy little tablet you take once a day. First thing I do when I wake up is I take the pill. Super, super easy. And then at night, I wear this little laser cap that they have. And it's like 6 minutes a night, put it on your head, and that helps get some blood up to your head and helps spurn that regrowth. We're trying to get that regrowth going, trying to fuel that regrowth, and that's what that laser cap does combined with finasteride. So that's what they had for me. I went and got a consultation, and now things are working in the right direction. For Doug, they took a look and said, how about some FUE?
That's what I had, and now I got a wisp on my hairline where once there was none.
Boy, you do. I can see it.
They say 6 or 8 months before you see dramatic results.
I see it. I really do see it.
And by then, I could go man bun. I might have long bangs or maybe a front-facing ponytail. I'll have all these options because of the FUE procedure I had, which is a permanent transplant solution. I went in and they shaved the side of my heads, and then they removed follicle grafts from the part of my head where it's not susceptible to male pattern baldness, and then they transplant it to where you need it, and then you've got guaranteed growth for the rest of your life right there. So it's a great way to go if your hair is bothering you, and we got a great resource right here in town with Dr. Polenga and Greg Kreiling, the founder of St. Louis Hair Restoration. They'll take great care of you, as they did with me. You ought to go on their website, stlouishairrestoration.com. Look at some of their before and after pictures. It's really pretty incredible, some of the work that they've done. They've done it for me, and they've done it for Jackson, and they will do it for you at St. Louis Hair Restoration.
There it is. Send your emails in. Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Want to be a part of the Trivia Night on November 11th at St. Gabriel's? Go to TMASTL.com. $45 a person. And now you're enjoying Salt and Smoke and AB products all night. Plus, you can bring your own food and drink as well. Trivia, not TMA trivia, general sports, entertainment, and St. Louis knowledge. November 11th. Doors open at 6:30 at St. Gabriel, the Archangel. And again, tickets are $45 a person. You don't have to buy a whole table, but you can. You can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 tickets at TMASTL.com. We close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Jeremy Rutherford with us at 9 o'clock. Your two-part questions welcome. He's presented to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. This is TMA from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially, whether it be saving up for their child's education or planning for their own retirement and everything in between.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning, or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of Rosé Prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm with a great sponsor of TMA, and that's Longo Biggs of the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. People are starting to head out now. It is summertime, but that means an increase in car accidents.
Hey guys, like Tim just said, summer is finally here, and that means there's more people on the roadways. And you might be going to a Cardinals game, or maybe you're headed home from taking your buddy's money on the golf course. But with increased traffic on the roads, it also means a higher likelihood for car accidents. If you get in an accident, contact our firm immediately. We've successfully handled a countless number of car, motorcycle, and truck accidents. And if you go to our website, you will see we have received awards for doing so. We will make the process easy for you while maximizing the compensation you receive. Go to our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lutman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflutman.com, bringing people and properties together.
TMA presents their second ever trivia night, November 11th at Tim's alma mater, St. Gabe's, starting at 7:30 p.m. A little different than last year. Not just TMA trivia, all trivia, sports, entertainment, STL-centric, and a few rounds of TMA trivia thrown in for good measure. And it's hosted by Tim, Doug, Iggy, Plowsy, Action Jackson, and whoever else is on the show. You can purchase single tickets, tables of 8, or anything in between. Tickets are on sale now and are $45 a person. A portion of the proceeds from the event will go to St. Gabe's. Tickets include food from Salt and Smoke and all your Anheuser-Busch beer. But feel free to bring your own food and drink too. Another TMA Trivia Night, November 11th. Get more info and find out how to buy tickets at TMASTL.com.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Do you want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? Well, it's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at theedfgroup.com.
If you're sick of having slow internet that doesn't reach every nook and cranny of your house, I'm here to introduce Whisper, the rural internet provider with no hidden fees, no contracts, and high speeds, all for a low cost. Whisper offers first-class customer service that'll help you set up and answer any questions along the way. And Whisper is offering free installation now till the end of October. Call Whisper at 800-765-7772 to learn more and use promo code TMA to get free installation. That's 800-765-7772 with promo code TMA.
Hey, this is Joe Buck. We all have people we miss and who we would do anything to see or hear again. Whenever I want to hear my dad's voice, all I have to do is go to YouTube, but most people don't have that luxury. Now with Sound Story, your family's stories can be saved forever. Sound Story is a professionally produced hour-long conversation in which you or one of your loved ones is interviewed by the host of your choice, including TMA's own Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Jackson Burkett. Hundreds of St. Louisans have already told their stories with Sound Story, and the experience is one they loved.
I think everybody that can do it, they should, for their children, for their grandchildren, because I know I would give anything to hear my parents' voice.
Visit mysoundstory.com today and use promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. That's mysoundstory.com, promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. Sound Story, for you, for them, forever.
And as moist as a freshly baked Betty Crocker cake?
It's the morning after.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Wednesday. Welcome back, TMA Michelob Ultra. Sponsor of the studios, also heretofore known as a no-kill moron shelter.
Yeah, don't say heretofore, though.
Isn't that how you would say it?
I don't know. I just don't care for that.
Dear Deidre, most of my mates would swap places with me in a heartbeat. But a night of swinging has threatened to wreck my marriage. I'm 33.
He's probably 29, 30 maybe.
31, actually.
31, okay.
So you read this?
No, it just seems like every article starts about the same.
I'm a kitchen installer.
A kitchen installer.
My wife is a tattoo artist. Our sex life had taken a dip, and she mentioned this to her female workmate. This colleague is single, 35, and plays around with lots of guys. She said she knew the perfect aphrodisiac, a swingers club. My wife was intrigued and persuaded me to try it, to, quote, spice things up. Nevertheless, we were both really nervous and downed a few drinks before going there. The drink definitely helped, and we started chatting to other couples, dancing and flirting a little. Soon enough, a good-looking guy approached my wife and asked her to dance, with his partner joining in. They looked of similar age to us. She started stroking my wife's back and beckoning me to join them. They knew
she
it.
looked?
What was her age and occupation?
Doesn't say, Doug.
Huh.
This is all,
An
this is
account
all
manager,
autobiographical.
28-year-old account manager from Brussels.
In from Belgium. They knew what they were doing and invited us into a quiet room where we all got down to business. It got pretty heated, and my wife had sex with the man while the woman came on to me.
Doggone it.
I enjoyed the experience and felt flattered, but never want to see my wife in that situation again. I felt so jealous. She was always so special because she was all mine. I don't see her like that anymore. I can't shake off the feeling that the magic is gone. She wants to go back to the club, but I don't.
Sure she does.
Please, help. Well, Deidre's here. That's good news.
Okay.
Even the strongest of couples can experience a dip in their sex life at times. Some try opening up their relationship, but this can be damaging if you haven't anticipated and addressed the potential pitfalls. Fantasy and reality are rarely the same, and when it comes to open marriages, agreeing on the boundaries is key. You felt jealous seeing men wanting your wife and taking over your role. She enjoyed feeling desired, but is that something you can instigate? When did you last send her a sexy text or tell her how you'd like to rip her clothes off? Talk to her about your feelings that night. And then suggest reading my support pack 50 ways to bring fun back into sex.
50.
Which has ideas on boosting your connection in the bedroom without the risk of involving third parties. There it is, Doug.
That was the end of it?
So he saw his girlfriend orgasm for the first time, and it wasn't him doing it. Sounded
That's
like
what that was?
Well, it sounded like he looked like, oh, that's what pleasure is.
I'd love to see that support pack. 50 ways to spice up your marriage.
What is it, the simp pack?
Oh, it's called the simp pack?
You don't like to call that out like on air, but that's what it basically is.
Simp pack.
That's a nice story and all, but what were all of their credit scores? I need the digits, please. That's from Flocky to Smurf.
How did it help to know that the guy was a kitchen installer?
Doug, if Jackson sends it in the links, I read it.
Okay.
You better believe it.
It's not easy to do the measuring, get the cabinets lined up just right. And dishwashers can be tricky to get installed. I appreciate all that. I just don't know that it helped and advanced the story at all.
Theater of the mind, though.
It's the same one every time. I mean, I guarantee you, Tim could read one sentence and I'll tell you what the rest of it's going to say.
Well, I guess we could try that.
I love my wife. She's 26. I am 28. We've been together for 3 years. We went to a club the other night. Okay, here comes the swinging.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see about this one. This was from Sally Land on October 22nd. Dear Deidre, I'm enjoying a steamy fling with great sex and don't feel guilty one bit. It's so much fun, but doesn't mean anything and will end sooner rather than later. My long-term partner treats me like a queen, and we are happy together. But if I want sex, I have to ask for it. He never makes me feel haunted. Otherwise, I would say that everything is perfect. The man I'm having the fling with is a decent guy and caring, but I don't see us being together in the long term. I can't have him falling for me. I told him that from the start. I wasn't up for anything serious, but I can tell he wants more now. He doesn't know I'm already in a relationship. I can't imagine my life without my partner, as I feel safe and financially secure, but I'm numb emotionally. This isn't the first time I've strayed. I've been with my partner for 16 years, and I'm up to my 7th fling.
7th?
I am 45 and my partner is 48. We don't have children together, but each have a child from a previous relationship. I don't think I know what love is and have certainly never felt it. My partner is wonderful, and I do think a lot of him. So why do I constantly cheat? Great question.
Yeah.
And because your husband is not, like Blousy said, he's not satisfying you. He's not great in bed. He's probably got a micro-ween.
No! Micro-ween?
You got everything that you love about him. Money, security, but you need to go elsewhere for sex.
Fooling around with other guys may be an ego boost, but chances are your parents didn't have a loving, stable relationship with each other or you. Wow. That cut to the quick.
I don't know.
Where the hell did that come from? Fooling around with other guys may be an ego boost, but chances are your parents didn't have a loving, stable relationship with each other or you.
I don't buy that.
Well, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
I'll tell you what, that's why you know these are real, because you never know what you can...
Yeah.
Oh, they're all real, for sure.
They're not real.
It has left you with low self-esteem, and you endlessly yearn to feel wanted, needed, and desired. So it's hard for your boyfriend to satisfy that chronic need. You need ongoing therapeutic help to understand what is driving you, and that is to be backed up with the willpower to make changes. You aren't being fair to your long-term partner or the person you are having a fling with, neither of whom know about the other. While you may have managed 7 affairs without being discovered, sooner or later the truth will come out. Could you be hanging on to security your partner offers when the reality is your relationship's run its course? Either way, this is a self-destructive pattern that you need to break for your own good as much as anyone else's. My support pack, Can't Be Faithful, will help you.
My guess is the questions are like Chat GDP. You just keyword it and like they write swingers, age.
Probably, yeah. It's probably all AI generated.
I mean, they all sound like they're written exactly in the same format. So.
Well, I don't think everybody who cheats has parents that were
Yeah, that
loving.
was a surprising turn from Sally Land.
Yeah, some people just like the excitement of it, I'm sure.
I guess Tavistock's like Blue Chew. They come onto her thing for a week and they're gone for a few months and they come back again.
My wife and I don't bother with sex anymore. This is from caller Buzz, Doug, and he won in June, the Milagro
Yes, he
Tequila
did.
Salon.
He sure did.
We just rub a dub to busty girl-on-girl porn. We fish in the dark and then eat Reese's peanut butter cups and go to bed.
We don't need
It's odd
that.
to think my pee-pee is not needed, but on the plus side, I can think about Doug while we fish. Okay. Caller Buzz.
He's kind of crossed over the edge. He used to be kind of a normal guy that would just tell us about his weekend with the doctor in Chicago. We kind of found fascinating. Now he's just full-blown vile. He's really jumped the shark on this, I think.
That's because he knows we don't believe his stories anymore, so he just gets boring.
Well, isn't it just his wife fingers him, right?
And you don't believe the doctor story now out of Chicago?
Yeah, because he came up with another one that just was so far-fetched that nobody believed him.
Yeah, I guess I don't believe the story anymore either about the doctor in Chicago.
Half you inbred Hoosiers have a FICO score lower than the amount in your bank account, have defaulted on your student loans, amassive collections, and tell your friends you deserve a better rate than 7.625% on a home loan.
Oh.
Pick one and then suck it.
Gosh.
Some Sesame Timbers.
Gosh.
Wow, God almighty.
He really let us have it.
How did that even come up, the FICO scores?
Caller Ellen said you could judge whether a guy had money based on his
she was
credit
checking
score.
credit scores.
Oh.
The biggest thing is just credit card debt, I think, is what cripples people. Because it feels like it doesn't cost anything. When you don't get the dollar bill out and hand it to somebody, it doesn't feel like it costs you anything.
See, I'm rare. I always think about it. Every time I use a credit card, that's why I'm not like drowning in credit card debt too.
Yeah. Well, that's good because a lot of people
That
don't
is
have
good,
that
Cloud.
discipline. Just keep spending. We do that as a country. We just keep spending on credit.
I really only use mine for gas. I'm at the gas station, and if I get something online, Amazon, something like that. I have a Macy's card, so I use that at Macy's.
Like if you go into a fast food place or something, you use cash or credit card.
Yeah, cash.
Breaking news, Doug, here on TMA as I read from the Funhouse Twitter account, also known as Back After This. Mad Dog Russo was just on the Howard Stern show and says he's not retiring / quitting his radio or TV show after saying that he would. Howard, if the Diamondbacks would come back and beat the Phillies, which they did last night, Howard says he has to own up to what he said, so he suggested Russo sport a D-backs bikini in public with Russo holding a sign saying, "I'm a dope and a liar."
Well, he's not a liar. He just made a bad prediction.
He's going back on the promise.
Isn't his easy out to say, "I'm under contract, I have to keep working"? I made a crazy bet that I was confident in. I lost, but I am under contract, so I have to keep showing up.
Are you going to go tweet at him to hold him accountable?
No, he can do what he wanted to do. It's just a show. Just a show. It's all it is.
I still can't believe people actually thought he was going to quit his job and leave millions on the table.
Okay, now from Jimmy Traina, who's a media reporter for Sports Illustrated. As negotiated with Howard Stern, instead of retiring, Mad Dog Russo will wear a Diamondbacks bikini and walk through the streets of New York City wearing a sign that says, "I'm a douche."
He should have to walk through Phoenix with that, not New York City.
Yeah.
But here again, he'll get all kinds of publicity, and more people than ever will listen to his show.
Why don't we walk around downtown St. Louis at night in bikinis?
Who says I haven't already? Except in downtown St. Louis, no one would see you. There wouldn't be anyone. Have you driven around during the day and see there's nobody on the streets? It's just incredible.
What about the best fans?
There's no one there. If there's not a Cardinal or a Blues game, there's nobody in the streets. It's stunning. It is stunning.
Why do you hate Blues Coyotes games?
I don't hate Blues.
Yeah, but doesn't it make it look,
I go to them
look rustic?
Like an old Western ghost town? That kind of way?
Iggy, my friend did insert my phone in my rectum while I passed out, and he can tell you himself on trivia night. But that's okay. Get your zoomies out before you go to the large pasture in the sky.
What?
You are so loved and so important to the show, but important like the old blind dog who has accidents for attention, growls at the little kids, barks at guests, but part of the family and lovable nonetheless. That's from caller Buzz.
Gosh.
A lot in that text.
He's bragging about having a phone pushed up his rectum?
Flip that up.
The rectum isn't large enough to support such a device.
That's my point. I mean, you couldn't
Is it?
You couldn't get a phone up your ass.
I don't think so. I've
Maybe one of the
seen
old
double anal scenes.
Oh.
Never really understand them. But you know what? You tip your cap for the effort. But Buzz taking a phone.
Yeah, not an iPhone 12 or 14.
Maybe it's one of those flip phones.
An old flip phone back in the early days.
I'm very anal.
All right, so I got some here.
That was a deep cut.
The human anus can stretch up to 7 inches before taking damage.
Yeah,
7 inches?
Yeah, Veronica Avlov. I
Gosh.
feel like she's prolapsed.
But taking
So you'd watch a
damage.
scene and you go, "Oh boy, what's doing there?"
So
Bad beat. Bad beat.
So theoretically, the phone is considerably less wide than 7 inches. So Buzz has merit.
But it says
I don't
7
know.
inches. Maybe that just means like a vibrator or something.
What? The human anus can stretch up to 7 to 9 inches before taking damage.
God. I don't know.
Any item, no matter what it is.
I almost said I'd have to see that to believe it, but I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that lead to a prolapsed rectum?
Yeah, like I said,
says
Veronica Avlov.
Says before damage, without tearing.
Well, he said he was sleeping, so it would take 2 people to do this. Somebody would have to spread it, and the other person would have to shove it. You can't do it yourself.
Oh, I didn't need that.
Oh no! Well, the
Unless you
person
grease
can
it up.
spread it. Yeah, like
You still couldn't spread that with a phone. Yeah, I can't believe we're talking about this.
No,
It's
I
real.
can't either.
Buzz is following up with details. He says, "It was sticking out of my bum like I had a little tail."
Yeah, okay.
This is
So, like-
odd. I like our show.
You're proud
that's
of
a
that?
literal
You're proud of
butt
that?
dial, then, right? If it's on, like
Could have been.
You're proud of that?
He's bragging about such a thing. I mean, if that happened, wouldn't that be the last thing you'd want to have out there? Nope, never happened to me. I don't care what the doctor
if you
says.
call somebody like while it's in there, would it sound like?
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
kind of, yeah.
Just calling me an attention for him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not a sound you'd want to hear.
Hey, everybody, look at me. I'm going to tell a butt story.
Put that up.
that could be a good drop right there.
Absolutely. Just got word from Jesse Kiowski in the commercial break that a gentleman last night bought 3 tables for trivia night. This guy really wants to win it.
Wow, that'll help his credit score.
I agree. Trivia night is November 11th at St. Gabriel the Archangel. Doug, that is located at Tam and Nottingham. How do you do?
Well, I'm
Come
fine.
and see the banners. Doors open at 6:30. Trivia gets underway at 7 o'clock. And this year's trivia questions will test your general sports, entertainment, and St. Louis knowledge. They're not all TMA trivia questions. So just come on up there for $45 per person. You can enjoy Salt and Smoke all night and all of your AB products. And if you want to bring food and drink, you're more than welcome to as well. All of us from TMA will be there. And we'll enjoy Trivia Night on November 11th at St. Gabriel's. Buy your ticket or your table or anything in between or your 3 tables at TMASTL.com. TMASTL.com. TMA Trivia Night. Texts are coming in over the course of the program about what is HD2 Country, Doug. Well, HD2 Country is the T-shirt that I am wearing, and that is available at TMASTLshop.com. I think this was another Peter Rep creation, if I'm not mistaken, and he's done a wonderful job, a variety of colors, and both available in T-shirts and hoodies. 636 TMASTLshop.com. It's HD2 Country. Does it look like that? Can you tell it's a?
It sure does.
It's a 2.
Kind of a Western flair, bit of a Western thing, yeah.
TMASTLshop.com. This is the guy who was Truman the Tiger, right? Makes sense. That's from Todd Reesing. Was Caller Buzz Truman the Tiger?
I don't know.
I feel like he's not tall enough.
You got to be tall to be Truman?
I think that they want you to be tall.
Yeah, the costume is pretty tall, pretty long.
Adriana Chechik probably set the benchmark for the max anus stretching number, so we thank her for her work. That's from Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack, but not his wife.
I wouldn't thank her. Pity her, maybe. Apologize to her.
Sporting, though, you'd have to agree.
Well.
Doug, here is Dabo Swinney talking about Clemson's game being on the CW.
He's not happy about it.
You guys are on the CW network for the first time this weekend. Any experience with that channel? It's a new one with the new.
I have no idea what it is. I don't even know where it's at. Is it? Where do I go to it?
I think it's channel 62.
Okay, channel 62.
You have to use rabbit ears.
Rabbit ears. I've got. Where is it on the guide on DirecTV? I've got DirecTV. Oh, that's where it's at? Okay. 62, all right.
It's the one that has Dawson's Creek.
Okay. Yeah.
So Clemson's having its worst season ever, and this is what the media talking about.
The media in this town of Clemson is soft.
Yeah.
It just seems like
It sounded like there were 2 people in that press conference.
Boy, they really have fallen. I mean,
Well, they don't enjoy offense.
Dominant program for a few years there, like the best.
I think it'll be Nebraska. I think it just had its run, but unless they find a good replacement for Dabo, they might be in that situation.
And they had one of the best quarterbacks to come around in a few
Well, they
years.
had, before that, they had Deshaun Watson, and before that, I think Taj Boyd. I do believe, I think
remember
it's
that.
Taj
Yeah.
Boyd.
Legendary appearance on ESPN.
But that's about 10 years of NFL quality quarterbacks.
And yeah, like you can recruit receivers and recruit great with, that. Although
Hunter Renfro.
Cape Klubnik's a 5-star guy. It's not like he's their quarterback now.
Hunter Renfro played football at Clemson?
Yeah.
He's big enough to.
Oh, he was awesome.
He, I think he had the game-winning catch in that comeback against Roll Damn Tide.
What was he, a tight end or something? We're talking about the baseball, but the outfield.
No.
Oh, am I thinking of it? I confused.
No, Hunter Renfro played for Clemson. Doug's thinking of Hunter Pence.
No. There's a Renfro, big.
There's a
big
Hunter
guy.
Renfro baseball player.
An outfielder.
God, I'm so confused. Hunter
Yeah, there is a Hunter Renfro.
He's a
baseball.
wide receiver. Played at Clemson.
But there is also a Hunter Renfro that plays for.
He's played for a bunch of teams.
Yeah.
He's played
Plays for the Raiders.
San Diego, and he's
Could be a
played
trade target for
Boston.
the Jets per Raiders wire. That's what comes up on the Googles.
Yeah, Hunter Renfro plays for the Reds. Different spelling.
Whoa.
But
we gotta
big
do
enough
something on that. It could be
big enough
fun.
to be a football player is a big guy.
Yeah, Channel 4 on that?
6'1".
Yeah.
6'1", 230. That's
He's a big
beefy.
guy.
It's a lot of man. So good.
That's why I was thinking maybe he was a tight end and I missed it, but there's 2 Hunter Renfros that are big-time athletes. Not the kind of
Somebody's
name you
phone stuck up their ass and vibrating.
Oh.
That is, yeah, I couldn't have that in my pocket.
Doug, we're talking Dabo Swinney and Clemson. Do you say Mark Schlabach or Schlabach?
I usually say Schlabach.
He has them playing the Gators in Jackson's favorite bowl, which is the Duke's Mayo Bowl. He's got Missouri playing in, what do you think?
Can I have initials of the bowl game, please?
T-A-T.
Texas A&M.
The
Texas A&M hosting a bowl now.
The AT&T Bowl?
No.
The A.
T-A-T.
The Apple Tree? The Apple Tree Bowl.
The Tax Act Texas Bowl.
The Tax Act Texas Bowl?
Wow.
They'll be taking on West Virginia at 9 o'clock.
If Ryan Wayne goes see this, does he up his? Does he automatically go to Texas?
Wouldn't they have to darn near lose every game the rest of the way to get that?
It strikes me as a little low.
You'd almost have to lose them all.
Imagine going 10-2, and the best you can get is a Texas Bowl.
Now, Joey Bonagora, in the same column, has them playing in the Liberty Bowl. Another trip to Memphis. And they'll be taking on Iowa State.
Oh, my God, that
That'd be
sounds
better.
miserable.
That sounds better than playing West Virginia in the Tax Bowl. That sounds terrible to me. I know the weather might be better in Texas, but who cares? It's one game.
That's on a Friday, December 29th at 3 o'clock.
How do you know the time? How do you know the times of these already?
Nobody's watching that game.
Well, nobody watches any of the bowl games
I know,
except for the
that's true.
playoffs.
Yeah,
They play all season to try to get in them, and then nobody cares when they get there.
It's just family members. It's hilarious.
Pretty
that
much,
40,000
yeah.
seat stadium. There's like that little row of family.
They'll probably be playing in New Orleans instead.
Oh, Sugar Bowl.
On New Year's Day.
And they're playing Washington in that game, and then they play Michigan and Houston for the national championship. Good, fair enough.
The playoff system, as much as we like getting a legitimate champion, it has wreaked havoc on some of the other bowls.
Well, the bowls are hand jobs.
Yeah,
but before the playoffs, there was a time when the Sugar Bowl and
I
all these
agree with
bowls were
that.
still meaningful. Say, hey, we
80s
deserve
and 90s,
to be number one.
100%. But over the last 20 years, it's just everybody gets in a bowl, and then you have college coaches who want to keep a job going, yeah, we go to bowls. It was a good year. We go to bowls.
Around
because
here.
they're still using the standard of the 1970s and 80s when going to a bowl was limited to teams who had really good years. Now you schedule 3 guaranteed wins, then you win another 3, and you go, oh, we had a great year. F off.
There's like 41 bowls. Yeah, I don't mean the lower half bowls, but there was a whole bunch of bowls there that were still kind of meaningful and interesting for a long time.
But we were trusting computers with the end of the year rankings, and undefeated teams are being, Boise State is a great example of kind of that AP, bowl era to where you have a computer logging in all the stats.
I was watching the college football show last night. Reese Davis, Kirk Herbstreit, Booger McFarland, Greg McElroy. Who else was on that? Joey
Pat
Galloway.
McAnally.
Pat McAnally. And Kirk Herbstreit was asked this question, and I think his answer was correct. And now he said he wanted to make it clear this isn't something that he expected to happen, but what is more likely to happen? What is more likely? Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Okay.
Both Alabama and Georgia go to the college football playoff, or the SEC gets 0 teams. And while I don't think it would happen either, I would agree. I would say the SEC getting 0 teams is more likely than both Alabama and Georgia going to the college football playoff. But that's not necessarily commentary on Georgia and Alabama so much as it is you have a variety of other conferences, such as the Pac-12, possibly the Big 12, possibly the ACC, and certainly the Big 10, with teams that are in the mix this year. Years where the SEC has gotten to more of a, and I think the Big Ten maybe did Ohio State and Michigan both get in last year, right? Yeah, Ohio State lost to Georgia and Michigan lost to TCU.
Yeah.
More of a reflection of the other conferences. This year, even though I think it'd be a big surprise if somebody got out of the Pac-12 undefeated, I think you'll have at least one Pac-12 team in there. And I still think an SEC team will get in there, but I certainly could see it being a 1-loss team. I just don't think you're going to see 2 SEC teams there. Ooh, sneezing.
Sorry. Thank you.
Allergies got you down a little bit?
Every time I come in the studio.
I guess if...
It's the price we pay for being a moron shelter.
We are in a closet. Dust
I guess if
mites.
Alabama would not lose another game and Georgia goes undefeated and they play each other in the SEC championship and Alabama would win, I would think they'd both get in.
I think it's so reliant upon the other conferences having teams fall apart.
Is Ole Miss not in it anymore?
Ole Miss is in it, but they need some things to happen.
We want the Alabama, but
They would have to win in Athens, which is going to be a test, of course. But hey, you know what? Missouri's about to do it, right, Doug?
Seems like it to me.
And then they would also need something weird to happen with Alabama, LSU. I guess they would need LSU to beat Alabama, and then there would be a hot three-way tiebreaker, and then something has to happen with the other division. But yes, Ole Miss is theoretically in it.
Yeah.
Is Mizzou even allowed to play in the playoff? Don't they have to be home for Christmas, or is that only when they're ducking their rivals?
Good
That's
point.
from Tervis Parish.
Good point.
I gotta say, looking at, even if Drink wins a national championship, I think his legacy is tainted by that.
Oh my God!
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But no,
it was a horrible thing to do.
I had to tell you, I think they did it. It was amusing, kind of like the Nolan Arenado trade report. If we don't like the news, we just call it fake news now. That Brett McMurphy was, said to be just making things up when he reported that. I do think they avoided KU, and I have to tell you, I understand it. Do I like it? No, but if you're in his spot, which was a precarious spot, and you're going, oh crap, we might lose, and I don't have a whole lot of equity with this fan base right now. The last thing I need to do is go 6-7 and lose to Kansas. So I'm not saying I'm for it, but I'm saying I understand it. And I do think that report was accurate, but I've just chosen not to believe things that I don't like anymore. I think that's the best way to go through life.
I just don't like it that the whole program and all of its fan base gets not what's best for the program, but just best for the head coach. What was best for the program and for all of its fans
was to
watch
play
them,
Wake
watch
Forest.
them play Kansas.
I'm sorry.
No, watch them play Kansas.
Sam
but
Hartman.
instead, no, we're all concerned about one guy's job security, like he couldn't possibly be replaced.
I'd like Gabe to ask that question at the next press conference. Coach, let's just play devil's advocate here. If you would happen to go undefeated and you get to the national championship game, would you play the game because it will be over the holidays? And you said last year you want your team to be home for the holidays.
That'd be a good question to ask. Why don't you ask that? Why don't you go up there and ask that? Just like that? No? If it was in St. Louis, would you ask it?
Yeah.
You would?
Gabe will be at the University High School today at 4 o'clock to see what Ryan Wingo does.
Oh, he's announcing today?
4 o'clock.
Who paid him the most? I guess that's the question.
Wingo Wednesday, baby.
Oh, is this what they're calling this? Wingo Wednesday?
Yeah. Seems to be the consensus. People are fired up, as they should be.
Well, he's not the only one who's going to go to where they pay him the most. That'll be everybody now.
I mean, it just seems like it's Missouri, but God, it's not like it's a lock.
What would be the upside, like if he's saying his announcement was usually in December, and then moving it up with the Missouri NIL laws, putting two together, plus all the experts saying he's going to Mizzou. All the signs are pointing to the right direction.
I don't know. Texas still has a couple hours to back that Brinks truck up.
They got Texas money down there. They got oil money.
But Missouri's
Black
got money
gold.
they can give them tonight, literally.
Yeah, you're going to have to really make a nice little sweetheart deal there.
That'd be a nice little presentation if he signed and they hand him a check for $1 million.
That would be just a big, giant check. Takes it to SEFQ or something.
Yeah. That would be powerful incentive to anyone else in Missouri. Players.
100%. That's
thinking
why it's
about
so
going there.
advantageous.
You handed him a
It's
check.
a totally different world. Now, if the other states get this going, but I mean, again, the other states usually have another school. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Right.
Missouri's in a unique spot right now. Guys, the real game will be Notre Dame versus Kansas in the Pop-Tarts Bowl on December 28th. Doug, do you have that one circled?
I don't have anything circled, really. I don't circle much of anything. I almost never circle anything.
Jackson's going to be so butthurt if Wingo doesn't sign with Mizzou. I'm pulling for you today, pal. That's from Big Tuft.
Thanks.
Well, how big a check would you write him to contribute to get him to go?
I don't know.
Would you give him $100 to say, here's my part?
I gave Mizzou plenty of money.
So you'd give him nothing?
They can use some of the stuff I already gave them.
Mr. Licks can't watch the bowl game this year. He has to serve me at the Veiled Prophet Bowl. That's from the Warsaw.
Is that coming up this weekend?
You usually go, don't you?
Always.
They still have those things?
I think so.
I thought Karen took care of that.
Another stupid thing about the bowls is like they're each like conference oriented. I hate that.
Yeah.
I think it just like they should rank the bowls in terms of what's least and most important, and maybe reward geographically the better team. Try to at least.
Right.
I hate the fact that the SEC has to play a Big 12 team in a certain bowl. Like that to me makes that just.
Is there an
boring.
SEC Pac-12 game at all?
In a bowl game, I haven't looked at the 43 they have, but there's got to be a scenario where that's possible.
I was scrolling through it and I didn't see it, and that's why I asked the question.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And that would be fun this year to actually see them
I would
maybe
think
play
there would
Oregon
be,
State
but
or something.
I
That'd be a
know
fun game.
that would be great to see them play. USC or Penn State or somebody. You just don't see Missouri play all that often. I know Penn State's, of course, in the Big Ten.
Like, do they always have to go to Memphis? Do they always have to play in the Liberty Bowl? Or do they always have to go here or here?
You suppose they set up that system
like
so
that.
so the bowls don't get left out, so some big bowl doesn't get left out. They're guaranteed a team from a big conference.
Yeah,
Like the Myrtle Beach Bowl at Eastern Michigan against Marshall.
Could you imagine Myrtle Beach people coming out in waves?
Just try to keep me away from that game.
The problem you would have is that when you have 60-something bowls, and the bowl committees are the ones that, if they didn't have, the third-place team in the SEC plays a second-place team, whatever. If they didn't have that, all these bowl committees would be going after all these teams, and, we got asked to 7 bowls. What do we do? I mean, you wouldn't be able to fill them up because people would go where the more money is, or they wouldn't be able to set anything up.
Yeah, they would be waiting for the last second for a better bowl to open up. I get that. But there's got to be a way to just not have a certain conference play another conference in a crap bowl. I think
Las
you can make
Vegas
the matchup
Bowl's
better.
SEC Pac-12. That's from Ned Yost, Shattered Pelvis.
Yes.
See, that's great. Yeah. Like
They also have the Gasparilla Bowl can also be, it's either Big 12 ACC or SEC.
Doug, would you rather lose the Midwest, maybe vibe of a Liberty Bowl in Memphis to go out to Vegas and play like an
Caleb
Oregon
Williams.
State or a USC? Either
Iggy,
one
would
of
you
those,
go?
I mean,
if Missouri's playing Caleb Williams.
Vegas.
Yeah, it was here.
Like obviously,
Much rather go to Vegas.
Yeah.
I think the bowls are more about where they are because they're going to be there for a week and just have a good time for a week.
Oh man, when they had like the PlayStation Bowl, that was it. Like I remember as a kid in high school, I was like, dude, everybody on the roster for each team got a PS3, I think, or a PS2 at the time.
And you were jealous of that.
Oh, great. The
For a while,
swag is the way you go.
A couple of years, Mizzou had to go to Shreveport. Can you imagine spending a week in Shreveport?
That's when you go, okay, I'm going to focus on the draft.
Well, no, that's when you say it's Christmas. We don't want to be away for the holidays.
Yeah, if it's not the national championship playoffs, Caleb Williams probably won't play in the bowl game anyway.
I probably would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I don't know why you would.
Jeremy Rutherford's going to join us here in a matter of moments. Brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. 314-889-0503. Go online at evergreenstl.com. Questions, preferably two-parters for JR, are welcome. 314-881-TMA5. Yeah, I mean, Connor Hellebuck, what are you going to do when a guy saves 18 shots? How are you going to beat that?
You don't. You take your lumps and you move on to the next one.
I looked it up, and I couldn't even find a goalie that's had more saves in the last 10 years than that. I mean, that performance was.
18 saves.
I think what you do, you take less shots, and then he gets rusty. He hasn't taken a shot for so long. You get when he's kind of
Rusty.
shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
They were really peppering him.
We'll see. Nurse.
Nope, sorry. Nope.
No, it's fine. You're a nurse.
Sod had one just absolutely wide open.
Look at this. Look at this.
He fired it right
It's like
at
Pangers
the old,
in the Horton Watkins studio.
Fired it right at the old pillow stack, like inside of it.
The old pillow stack.
Wow.
Wide open.
Look at this guy.
You've really made a major vicissitude.
They had plenty of opportunities. Doug Ware on the ladies' tees.
Yeah. Oh gosh, you even got the lingo down.
When's Rivers' contract up? I mean, that guy is really
He's gotta be
pushing.
sweating.
Sell your stock because I don't know if I got the bandwidth for it all year.
Oh, is that right? You think you might pivot after you watched the game in Manitoba?
Well, I saw like KD warming up, and I got like a crack itch. Like I was like, I need to get back.
Yeah.
I need to get back to what I'm used to.
Yeah.
JR, we'll talk it over with Jackson. I think we'll just sit back and listen to the puck talk. That's coming up next, brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. This is TMA from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, As Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is wide receiver Luther Burden III. Come support NIL and get a quote from my friend James Carlton.
Thanks, Luther. That's right. For every quote you mention, Luther Burden III will make a donation to NIL on your behalf. Getting a quote is easy. Just go online at carltoninsurance.net. Call or text 314-961-4800. If you have drivers under the age of 25, if you're seeing rising rates, give us a call or text us 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. Let's keep the momentum going.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of Rosé Prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
If you're sick of having slow internet that doesn't reach every nook and cranny of your house, I'm here to introduce Whisper, the rural internet provider with no hidden fees, no contracts, and high speeds, all for a low cost. Whisper offers first-class customer service that'll help you set up and answer any questions along the way. And Whisper is offering free installation now till the end of October. Call Whisper at 800-765-7772 to learn more and use promo code TMA to get free installation. That's 800-765-7772 with promo code TMA.
Hey, this is Joe Buck. We all have people we miss and who we would do anything to see or hear again. Whenever I want to hear my dad's voice, all I have to do is go to YouTube, but most people don't have that luxury. Now with Sound Story, your family's stories can be saved forever. Sound Story is a professionally produced hour-long conversation in which you or one of your loved ones is interviewed by the host of your choice, including TMA's own Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Jackson Burkett. Hundreds of St. Louisans have already told their stories with Sound Story, and the experience is one they loved.
I think everybody that can do it, they should, for their children, for their grandchildren, because I know I would give anything to hear my parents' voice.
Visit mysoundstory.com today and use promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. That's mysoundstory.com, promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. Sound Story, for you, for them, forever.
TMA presents their second ever trivia night, November 11th at Tim's alma mater, St. Gabe's, starting at 7:30 p.m. A little different than last year. Not just TMA trivia, all trivia, sports, entertainment, STL-centric, and a few rounds of TMA trivia thrown in for good measure. And it's hosted by Tim, Doug, Iggy, Plowsy, Action Jackson, and whoever else is on the show. You can purchase single tickets, tables of 8, or anything in between. Tickets are on sale now and are $45 a person. A portion of the proceeds from the event will go to St. Gabe's. Tickets include food from Salt and Smoke and all your Anheuser-Busch beer. But feel free to bring your own food and drink too. Another TMA Trivia Night, November 11th. Get more info and find out how to buy tickets at TMASTL.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
You got to be on acid to understand what's going on this show.
It's the morning after.
KPNT-FM HD2,
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Yeah, I guess it is the sickest Queen Wednesday ever. If you're watching on YouTube, number one, you see how hot Doug and I are. But I guess nothing's new there.
Right.
Plowhawk, you can tell, is well hung underneath that hoodie. I like that classic TMA hoodie, too. I think that was a Gangster Pete creation.
I have 3 of these. I don't
Is that
know
right?
how. Yeah,
I have 1.
I'm busting them out.
And then I've got the HD2 Country T-shirt on, and that's also available in a hoodie. Just debuting today, TMASTLshop.com. And look, Ken Strode's been replaced by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies.
Mahatma Buffett, we've decided.
Mahatma Buffett.
Hold your applause. Hold your applause.
Oh, there it is.
Hold your applause.
Still came in the room. What's the good word? Tell me the good word. I need the good word, not the bad one. The good one.
We're here to talk hockey. It's a good time of year. Hockey's back.
Yeah.
Makes for good entertainment.
You hear the way Jackson's talking, and he's like Don Cherry's on the show now.
He's making it up as he goes. He's texting me for advice.
Oh.
He was talking about 2-pad stacks and things like that today.
I outsource my knowledge to Mark.
Yeah. All right.
He's a wise man.
So did you stay up late and watch the Blues last night?
Well,
That one wasn't that late.
2 periods were wonderful. Then it was nighty-night for this guy.
Yeah. Well, you didn't miss much.
Second period, Craig Berube wasn't happy about that. Is Jeremy Rutherford on?
Oh,
Yeah.
chilling, yeah.
He's chilling? Yeah. Morning, JR.
Hey, morning, guys.
Iggy's walking. Oh, Iggy's walking in. He must have some queries.
No, I'm just getting my cigarettes.
Oh, gosh. Are you going to go outside and start smoking?
Jerry, now grabbing his Salems.
Yep, grabbing the Salems. There it is, JR. Iggy is clear now. Ken Strode is...
I'm aiming for Iggy Strode Nirvana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different kind of Nirvana than Doug's. I don't know what it is.
It's unique.
It is unique.
It's like you're on a hovercraft where everyone's in like bumper-to-bumper traffic.
That is true.
I came walking in, he looked at me and he said, "Oh, you're in for this segment?" And you should have seen the light in his eyes.
He was thrilled.
He was thrilled.
He was thrilled because he can just wander around the building and talk it over with the HD1 shows. JR is brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies, who is in studios. The studios are the Michelob Ultra. It's called the No-Kill Moron Shelter.
Yeah, that's what it is now. This is nice. We got that going.
And we welcome you to text into the EDF Group Text Inbox, Engineered Design Facility sponsor the Text Inbox. And if you have a fire extinguisher at your place of work, which you do, you can go to EDFgroup.com and support the sponsors and get that checked out. EDF Group, sponsor the Text Inbox, 314-881-TMA5. JR, this one unfortunately reminded me more of the game against the Coyotes last Thursday than the Penguins on Saturday. The Blues just aren't able to keep up offensive pressure, and the second period is when it got away from them. Your assessment of last night against the Jets?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Tim. And I'm just hoping that this deal with Mark that we have every week, and glad to have you in studio. How you doing, Mark?
Good to hear from you, buddy. Doing well.
Yeah, doing well. I just hope it doesn't hinge on shots on goal. Like if the Blues don't get to 20 shots on goal this season ever, then Mark cancels the deal.
You pull the sponsorship. Is it a 20-goal sponsorship? Is that in your contract?
No, we just do exactly like we did last year. We give up on hockey and we just talk nonsense.
That's right.
Yeah, I can go with that. Yeah, you said you went nighty-night last night after the second period, and I think another hockey team did too. So it's just it's tough to watch. It really is, Tim, because we can talk about the new defensive system. We can talk about how they played in the Penguins game, but big picture. And I realize it's still a little bit of a small sample size, but you're starting to get a little bit bigger here, is there is just not enough offensively. There's not enough going to the net. There's not guys willing to sacrifice. So I'll be looking forward to these two-part questions today.
Yeah, they're coming in, Doug. 314-881-TMA5. Yeah, I was watching the tail end of the game, and I guess Jackson's competition, Jamie Rivers, gave the star of the game to Connor Hellebuck, and I saw he had 18 saves, and I thought, oh boy, 18 saves, and you're the star of the game. You know, it didn't seem like he was necessarily tested, but that is what the Blues have. And I guess, unfortunately, the game against the Penguins is most likely going to be more of a one-off than what, at least at the moment, looks like is going to be this team's style this year. They just don't have the depth at forward. Is it a system thing or is it a talent thing?
I think it's a willingness thing right now. And I don't disagree with you about the one-off, but I think they're capable of playing like that and having nights like that. But I just think that they're going to have to convert their chances like they did that night, and they're just not doing that. I mean, you talk about, willingness. Robert Thomas said last night after the game, we've got to have more battle in our game. And covering the Blues for 20 years, I mean, that's code for, guys just not trying hard enough and getting to the net and making the effort. I mean, how many times have you watched the Blues game? This year they've only played 5, but where anybody is going to the net for a second or third chance. There aren't even any second and third chances to be had because they're just not creating anything, Tim.
Yeah. One and done, Doug.
Yeah. One of the things that's a little bit alarming, too, is they're not necessarily a young team. I mean, they got a lot of guys right in the middle of their career. It's not like they've got 4 or 5 guys that are just wetting their beak in the NHL, and they're going to be a whole lot better 2 years from now.
Yeah, no, and Doug, I don't think everybody's looking at 2 years from now, 3 years from now in terms of what this team could look like. I think it's going to look a lot different with some of these young prospects coming up. But I think in the here and now, Doug Armstrong has said that he wants this team to be competitive during the retool, and you'd think that they add some bodies, some guys who play Craig Berube style, that you would see that. It just almost looks like they're out there too nonchalant, and that's that's very surprising after what happened last year.
I think a lot of times these lack of results from effort can be pointed at leadership, and it seems like there are a lot of guys that are second line, third line guys. Is there the potential for any of these guys to elevate to become a number one? Do they have that in the current lineup?
Yeah, I just don't think so, Mark. I think that the lineup is what it is right now. You give Doug Armstrong credit for bringing in guys like Kapanen and Vrana and Hayes, but you look last night, I don't think I saw Vrana playing in the third period. Yeah, I know he had that penalty, kind of incidental. Kapanen's been okay at times. Hayes has kind of been invisible, to be honest, and I just don't think that they have that depth, as Tim was saying, to bump guys up. It's going to have to be your Kyrous and Thomases and Schenns that produce. Schenn gets an assist last night. That's his first point. As far as the leadership, a lot's been made about that over the years. I think they got the right guy in Braden Schenn. I think when stuff hits the fan, he's going to be there to try to hold guys accountable, but he can't help guys put the puck in the net on a nightly basis by himself. So he can lead, but this team, we're going to find out fairly soon. Does it have enough talent to even compete for a playoff spot?
314-881-TMA5. That is how you can text into the show. EDF Group text inbox. Jeremy Rutherford, brought to you here by Mark Hanna, who is in studio with us on TMA. Mark, I don't know if you're taking questions, but this one is directed toward you first, and then there's one for JR. Are you taking? Doug doesn't take questions.
Not really.
Is there a reference to a Sibian?
Oh!
Clip that off. What kind of product does Mark use in that frock of hair? Nice salad, bro. It is nice. I'm jealous as the day is long. Look at that, Doug.
It's all natural.
God,
You go to St. Louis Hair Restoration to get that lit?
No. I'm
natural.
actually the after model.
Oh, really?
God. He's dunking on us in
He
here.
really is.
And then, JR, what's the snack of choice at Enterprise Center? That's from Mr. 63011, and he has a very fast golf cart.
Mark gets a hair question. I get a press box food question. Great. Great. The snack of choice. They've actually upped the ante this year. We are what are we paying? $14, $15, and there's some pretty good stuff. But my go-to snack of choice is the peanut butter M&Ms.
That's what it costs now.
Wow.
It costs $15 to get a media meal.
Yeah, I think, hey, listen, if I say this, people are going to throw it back at me. But, yeah, it jumped up to about $15. And, it's fairly common around the league, $13, $14, $15. So, not too bad, especially when you're like me and you eat a couple buckets full of peanut M&Ms.
Well, it was only like $7 or $8 like 3 or 4 years ago, wasn't it? Inflation.
Like last year.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. We are honored. 274 people are in the YouTube chat room right now watching the show, talking it over, including a former NHL goaltender, Doug. So that's awesome. Daddy Padre is in there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, and he says Scandella and Tucker will be sitting after that one. The, quote, new defensive system, end quote, is the most overblown topic on this team. Daddy Padre, could you make 18 saves against the Blues? He says he most likely could.
I don't know that he could.
If they shoot from the perimeter like they have been, then yes, I could. Bruce Boudreau, bring him in. These are all of the thoughts from a former NHL goaltender, so that's kind of an honor for our show to have that going on. JR, you want to touch on anything there?
Yeah, you got to tell Padre you got to make the saves on the ice, not on Xbox.
Oh, Bill.
Oh.
No, Bill. Bill.
He was a practice goalie for a while.
E-bug.
You're not impressed by that at all.
I covered him that night. He looked pretty good in the warm-ups.
How about that?
No.
Yeah, take that,
Looks
Doug.
like a Make-A-Wish thing to me.
Take that, Doug. And he also says Mark Hanna is the GOAT, so that just came from Daddy Padres. It's kind of a nice endorsement. I'll leave that up for debate. Right there. JR, why can't this team break out of their end cleanly? Why do they make so many low percentage passes? How can they fix that? Also, Doug, give us some hockeyisms. That's from Pillow Stacker Mike. Going to bring that back?
Oh, gosh. After listening to the show for the last hour, I don't know, break out of the end cleanly if what we're talking about here anymore. Are we still hockey or
anal?
Yeah. No, it's hockey. Right.
Yeah, they're
go ahead.
They are just having themselves some trouble doing that. I mean, look at that play last night. If you guys heard the post game with Craig Berube, he was really upset about that 4-on-4 goal.
Boy, was he ever. Yeah.
Yeah, that put them up 3-1. And go back and rewind it. Nick Leddy, a veteran. I mean, we talk about these top four. Parayko, who's had a great season, Leddy, Krug, and Falk, and it's Leddy right there on the wall. You got a chance to get it out of the zone, and he didn't. It's in the back of the net, so that was kind of microcosm of some of the things we've seen.
JR two-parter, would you say the boys are skating free and easy? And also, what's your credit score? That's from Herb's Hog.
What is your credit score?
The listeners showing off their credit scores this morning.
They are not skating free and easy in the offensive zone for sure. It needs to be a lot more freer and easier. And my credit score last time I checked, 730.
Oh, nice.
Is that good, Hansy?
That's a humble brag right there.
Was
that what it was?
Is that pretty good?
It's on the better side of things, yeah.
We got 3 estates. I think he has
does?
one in the Hamptons, yeah.
You're in the Hamptons, man. Wow.
The Hamptons. Listen to you guys. I sat through about 15 commercials and grew a playoff beard while I was waiting to come on. I think Tim's got a couple places in the Hamptons.
I'm a Long Island guy. Always been known as such. Hey, JR, Cucky the Dwarf here. What are the odds we see some of the young guys like Bolduc, Dean, Snuggerud, or hell, even Prunovich in the lineup? Because Hayes is playing like he listens to this show, fat and slow.
Oh.
Look at some Cucky the Dwarf attacking the listeners.
Gosh.
Oh, Cucky. Let's, I don't think, maybe Prunovich in this next game Thursday, but I don't think we're going to see the other guys. I mean, this is a similar situation to last year when things don't go well. You can't just, turn it over to these young guys and expect them to steer you out. I think that Craig Berube, Doug Armstrong, they're going to stick to the lineup they've got, which we said earlier, may or may not be good enough at this point. You've seen a couple things you like, but not enough that you do like. And so I think they're just going to have to continue to lean on these guys. And, wow, Kevin Hayes, they're giving it to him already.
Kevin Hayes is taking it.
Snuggerud's still in college even, isn't he? Some of them.
Yeah, Snuggerud can't come till the end of the year, and that's if he decides he's going to turn pro. But the other guys that they mentioned, Bolduc, Zach Dean, those are guys that could be called up in a moment's notice. But Prunovich is a guy that's on the roster here, ready to play, champion at the bit, so he just wants to get out there. I could see that happening in one of these next 2 games.
Let's bring Jackson into the discussion. What do you think of those Jets uniforms last night? Oh, nice question.
The Jets logo is outstanding.
They look like the New York Rangers.
The Rangers have great uniforms. Even though I don't necessarily see, they use like a darker blue with Winnipeg.
Doug, is that a darker shade of blue than the blue shirts in Madison Square Garden?
Maybe slightly.
I like the Jets. I like the Jets sweater. It's solid. They have a great logo. Logo's the key, man, and a lot of hockey teams really messed that up.
I know this show is usually focused, but I'm going to just briefly pivot.
Yeah.
I hate to get behind the scenes to the dirty talk that was going on in my bedroom last night, but I said to my wife, I don't really like those Diamondbacks uniforms. You agree? Jackson, are you in agreement with me and my wife and joining us in our bedroom?
So they've gotten better. They used to have like this gradient pattern on the back.
You notice the gradient pattern on the back of
it was
Arizona's?
like some heathered. It was nonsense. So they've gotten better, but they're still just not great. They're not great.
What's a gradient pattern?
Gradient was the wrong word. It's more like a heathered kind of transparent.
What's a heathered pattern?
Heathered transparent.
It was like this rectangular.
How about you stop using Ladue language and talk to us people from the streets?
It's not great. The logo's no good. The teal and purple wasn't much better because they used to do like the sleeveless jersey thing. That's weak. So I'm not for them or against them. They're just unremarkable, similar to the Rangers.
Man, I got to put this in the Google Translator to know what he just said there.
Me too. I'm so unhappy with him.
JR, you got one here that has nothing to do with heathered and gradient patterns? Hey, Ruthsy, is it true Erica and Drew Swings live in your neighborhood? That's from the 636.
Let's just say in Jefferson County. I don't know about my neighborhood, but yeah, in the Jeffco.
Yeah, they're friends of the show now.
Are they really?
And I saw that friend of the show, Brianna Coppage, was on a talk show in New York City. Doug, is it the Tamron Hall show?
I don't have any idea.
I mean, we're launching stars out of this no-kill moron shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Making porn stars a lot of money.
I listened to the show, and I guess the only thing I could say is ever since I heard the story about her wandering around Home Depot, I'm currently walking up and down the aisles of Home Depot.
For heaven's
Good for
sake.
you. Yep.
You're a
The
swinger?
puck doesn't drop in Vancouver for a couple nights. He's got time.
Are you in the lifestyle? Is that what you're saying?
No, like God said to me, here's what he did. He said, I'm going to give you a good job. You're going to have a lot of fun in your career. You're going to go out of town, stay in hotels, go to bars, see a lot of people. But what I'm also going to do is make you fat and bald and have no chance.
That's what he said. That was the conversation. Jackson's coffee clutch / women's book club is rubbing off on his lingo. That's from Minute Bowl eligible. Yeah, Jackson, you gave like an Oprah book recommendation to the balloon party audience, yes, and they did not take kindly to it.
Dude, I was up way too late last night because I couldn't put this book down. It's
Put that off.
outstanding.
What was the book?
It's kind of like this mystery thriller. 4 women in a estate in New York, like a writing contest with a famous author.
He's reading Nancy Drew, and then he recommends it to the balloon party people.
It's like a big onion. I'm just peeling back layers, baby. It's great stuff.
You could do a podcast right up there with Toilet Talk. It'll be Jackson's books reviews.
I'm telling you, like Target will sell you these mysteries by these British women, like these mid-40s British women, for $10. It's great.
Nice. There you go, Doug.
Gosh, you are lonely, aren't you?
What? Man can't read?
Well, that's the workings of a lonely man.
I disagree.
Wasn't he reading the book when he was in bed with Lisa?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Another one of these Target mysteries.
Yeah, that's another balloon party topic, unfortunately. Yep.
What's happened to him?
Well, now he's lost weight and his hair's growing back, and he's the cock of the walk in Colombia.
Rick, when he's in Colombia.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just like to read. I don't know why that makes me lonely.
Oh my God, Marcia's Burner has come over from 101 ESPN to find us on HD2. Marcia's Burner is a 101 ESPN texter.
No, is that right?
Tim, I would like to get into reading, but I'm not really interested in Jackson's smut books. Do you guys have any suggestions? That's from Marcia's Burner. Wow.
Oh, by the way, there's some serious Sapphos in this book.
Oh.
Does
Hello.
that make it cool now?
I'm a little interested in seeing what's doing. I'm a little interested in seeing what's doing. Yeah, could you send pictures of the words?
It's not a picture book.
Coloring book?
No.
They do make adult coloring books now for you.
I have terrible handwriting, so no good.
The lipstick glass. The lipstick glass just texted in.
Okay.
Best recommendation for Jackson, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I'll await your review.
Ooh, all right. I'll throw that on my list.
Recommend that on Balloon Party here in a half hour and see what's doing.
Yeah.
Hey, JR, and hi, Hansy. First, thoughts on Vincent Riendo's chances at the Vesna. Doug, remember Vincent Riendo?
Sure.
And second, worst urinal splashback media room in Dallas or Trader Joe's in Des Peres. I came out of Trader Joe's with yellow shin pads last weekend. Like that stepdad Gary.
Yellow shin pads.
Oh, man, I don't want to try that Trader Joe's if it's any worse than the Dallas press box. Yeah.
Yep, American Airlines Arena, Doug, famous for its splashback.
Yeah. Where does the Enterprise Center press box rank with some of the other press boxes in the league? Similar, better?
Are we talking about splashback or other?
No, just everything in general. And the food.
Oh, it's great. No, I like the Enterprise. They do a great job with the press box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ranks up there pretty good.
Wasn't Vincent Riendo knocked into next week by Bob Probert back in the day?
I think he was knocked to next week a couple times, but Proby, yeah, no, definitely, Mark, if you remember that, that's something I don't recall.
It's about 1990. He
Is that right?
punched him in the head, and nobody did a single darn thing.
Oh, no way. Really? Holy crap. What's the worst press box in the league? I'm trying to think of, what would be a crappy building?
They used to have one in Detroit where if you stood straight
yeah.
up, you'd hit your head on the ceiling.
Joe Louis Arena, but
Yeah.
that's no longer
that
with
was
us.
Joe Louis. Yeah, no longer with us. That was the worst one, though. That's because they took the media, I think it was early 1980s, and said, hey, come see our new rink. We want to show it to you. And then they pointed up to where the press were going to seat, and they said, there's no press box. And they said, oh, shoot, we forgot to put one of those in there. So I think they tore out about 2 rows of seats, and I had to walk down that thing sideways just to get to my seat.
Huh. Yeah. Well, we all go through our trials and tribulations. That's the big one. Press boxes we don't really like.
That was the equivalent of,
tough.
we all have stories.
Mm-hmm.
JR, we always appreciate it. Of course, Jackson will give out these book recommendations at 10:05 on 101 ESPN, and you'll be with us.
Can't wait.
It'll be well received. You'll be with us every
Can't wait.
Wednesday at 9 o'clock here on TMA.
Suns Warriors update.
Yeah, we probably will get that at around 10:35, won't we?
Better believe it.
Yep. God, that pisses him
Thanks
off.
for having me, and we'll try to get some more shots on goal to talk about.
There you go,
All right,
Doug.
Rutsy.
Canucks on Friday, Flames on Saturday.
I
There
did
it is.
not know he was a swinger until.
Yeah, how about that? That was breaking news. Mark, we appreciate your sponsorship of this wonderful segment. Iggy appreciates it perhaps more than anybody.
Fun being in.
Yeah, God bless America. And your fabulous head of hair. God, no sign of thinning in the slightest.
Don't jinx it.
God, it's nice. Plowhawk's got a thick, luscious head of hair. He's got well hung.
Oh,
Doug, we're the cucks of the studio.
Yeah.
You still trimming over there, boy?
What does that mean?
In terms of the lower
The
region?
nethers.
Yeah. I typically do it per request.
Per request?
From Madison. Typically is when I decide to do it.
Is that manscaping thing? Remember that
Yeah,
tool
well,
that
the
we
winter
had?
time, I kind of like that. I don't know that. Vera
Don't
Wang.
make that gesture with your hands.
My Vera Wang tuft.
Oh.
So it's hard for me to.
During the winter, like it really warms you up.
Some pubic hair. Mark, thank you so much. And you know what? Ours is the type of program where friends can drop by, and that means you can drop by.
I'll go
anytime.
flag somebody else down.
Yeah,
sure. Anyone.
Ken's probably out there trying to get into the
He's
other
gonna be
studios.
so disappointed.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Ladies and
guys.
gentlemen, there he is,
All
the
right,
great Mark
thank you,
Hanna.
Hansy.
Evergreen Wealth Strategies, 314-889-0503, or go online at evergreenstl.com. You call him Mahatma Buffett?
Mahatma Buffett.
My God.
Mahatma Gandhi, Warren Buffett, all in one. Life Sherpa, financial genius.
He's got it all. Send your emails in for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. It comes your way in about, I'd say 10, 11 minutes. 10, 11 minutes. That's how you can send them in. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Right now, a deadlock with 5 emails of the day remaining in the month of October between Buck Swope and the JV golf coach. So it's going to be fun to watch them compete. Kind of a best-of-5 series here.
Sure it will be.
That will be fun. Illinois Recovery Center is a sponsor of this program. We are grateful for it. I'm grateful for the work they do, whether they sponsor the program or not. I visited the Illinois Recovery Center and saw firsthand. Illinois Recovery Center is the new premier inpatient substance abuse facility in Swansea, Illinois. When it comes to the disease of addiction, getting help should not be as difficult as it currently is. The Illinois Recovery Center's mission is to be the receiving hand in the community when someone seeks help. The IRC delivers a comprehensive system of care that welcomes both the individual struggling and family alike. If you or someone you know wants to learn about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or email info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. That's 888-472-9559 or email info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. Morrison Woods Wacko's not happy. Are you effing serious, pal? You read British romance porn from the sale rack at Target. No wonder Herb walked off with that tall babe. I bet you read that book wearing your David Lee youth basketball camp shirt and your knockoff Lululemons. That's from the Morrison Woods Wacko.
Did that hurt at all?
No, I wouldn't necessarily call them romance novels. Usually mystery thrillers. That's kind of my favorite.
Hunchback of On Castle not happy with the reading selection either. Is Jackson a retired menopausal Central West End resident?
No, I mean, I just like to read. I don't get
Nothing wrong with that.
Sweet Kai's not on board, and he's in Baltimore. I'm losing faith in my boy. That's from Sweet Kai.
Well, it's either read or death scroll TikTok for the rest of the night. Like,
So there are other options.
yeah.
You could talk with your wife about the Diamondbacks uniform choice.
I'm without wife.
You like that, Doug? I'm without wife.
You're a Central Corridor cat.
Now it gets cold outside. There's nothing to do. Sit inside and read. I'm reading Capote right now. Nothing wrong with that.
In Cold Blood?
No, his autobiography.
Okay.
Missouri fans, Howard Richard with us coming up at 10:15 on Balloon Party. Boy, they're panicking on Power Mizzou about this Wingo thing. You seeing that, Jackson?
No. Oh, no.
Plowk, you still on Power Mizzou? Did you stop paying for that thing?
I stopped paying for that, yeah.
Yeah, people are just saying that Texas is making a late push. I don't know.
That would really shock me.
If they back up like a $2.2 million Brinks truck.
How good is this guy if they're talking about paying him this kind of money?
Doug, you know the boosters at Texas. I mean, that is absolutely no money at all to these guys.
Do you think it's possible he hasn't made up his mind yet?
I think.
Sure.
I bet you made up in my mind that Texas is making a late push, which they have every right to do so. Just about the dollar figure. I mean, if they bust out $1 million more than Mizzou, I think Ryan Wingo should probably hold out and getting that money for another 4 or 5 months, and you'll be fine.
Well, even if he says it's not binding, right? Even if he says I'm going to Mizzou now, can he take their $1 million, cash it, and then still go to another school somewhere down the road?
I have no idea what the.
I don't know what the rules are on that.
I'm sure
bet
there's
you
something
could.
in that contract that says if you accept this, you can't transfer, you can't renege on it, or you got to give us our money back.
Certainly not for I don't think for the first year. I don't know the exact rules on that, though.
Oh, Chris Russo, Mad Dog just appeared on Awful Announcing, Jackson. Not Awful Announcing, the Molly Querum Show, as I call it, with Stephen A. So he is now speaking about what he is going to do on this Diamondbacks win. Doug, Diamondbacks and Rangers, this is the one you wanted. It's the one you got. It's the one Fox wanted. Makes you wonder if the whole system's rigged with the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. What do you think? Jackson, could you look this up if you would?
Sure.
The lowest television ratings over the last 20 years for a World Series, taking out the COVID World Series. What was that, Dodgers and Rays? Is that what it was? Or was it played in Tampa?
Yeah,
was it
think
Dodgers
so.
and Rays?
Yeah. It was the Rosa.
I would have to. Yeah, I would have to think that the Cardinals-Tigers would be live, but I feel like there was another one in there that we might have.
Last year's.
Last year's was the lowest?
Braves, Astros averaged 11.94
The World Series last year was Phillies-Astros.
Sorry, 2021's. I'm sorry.
Okay.
2021's. Nope, I'm sorry. 2022 is the.
It's probably going to continue to go down.
Who won the World Series last year?
The Astros.
Houston.
Astros.
And they played the Phillies, right?
Yeah.
And the Phillies beat the Padres. Has anybody seen my nurse? I feel like I'm taking crazy.
She's not here today, Tim.
No. I need her.
I think the ratings will continue to go down as baseball fans get a little older. Many of them die off. Younger generation not watching as much.
One of the links Jackson sent me, I think it was this week, Jackson, you may be able to elaborate on it, was how the networks I say, ESPN, and the debate shows that you'll find on Fox and ESPN spend no time on baseball. So last night, right when the final out was made, my wife's like, my God, I can't believe we're staying up this late because of how early I get up, just like everybody else. And so I didn't get to see any post-game coverage, and I was curious what they had to say about the game. So they led, of course, with Game 7 of the NLCS, but if they spent 3 minutes on it on SportsCenter this morning, I'd be surprised. And they moved right into what? Jackson, you know the answer to this.
Probably the opening up of the NBA season.
That's exactly right.
Heaven's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not doing it because they hate baseball. They're doing it because the audience isn't there for it. And when you watch, and I don't watch them, but it's always on in the 101 studios. That's why I've become a Molly Querim fan. The Stephen A. Smith, Molly Querim, Dan Orlovsky, Daniel Day-Lewis thing, they never talk about baseball. The fact that they're talking about it right now is probably only because Russo said he was going to retire if the Diamondbacks won. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't spend any time on it. It's all NBA and it's all NFL, and that's almost exclusively. Maybe occasionally some college football, Feinbaum pops up, but that's all it is. And that includes during the summer, you know?
Well, some of that could be driven by the personal prejudices or likes and dislikes of the producers and the people on the show. It may not necessarily be because nobody likes a certain sport as much as they used to. Just with the people that put this show on, they like what they like.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who own the content. ESPN does, and ESPN's executives are going to tell them what they talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even the executives could say, "Oh, I'm a huge football fan. It's got to be football, football, football."
They're going to do what makes the most money and gets the biggest audience. This isn't, HD2.
Didn't ESPN get rid of their Baseball Tonight show?
Their baseball situation is they have an opt-out after 25, I believe. So weren't they saying in that article, Jackson, that like the Ken Rosenthal, A.J. Przinsky...
Yeah. Yep. The foul territory.
...could be the future of baseball coverage because the networks aren't... Like Bayless and Sherman, they're not talking about it. Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, Russo.
Right.
Now, Russo's a baseball guy, but when he's on that show, him and Orlovsky aren't like breaking down the moves of Torey Lovello,
No, they get much more out of like Mad Dog and JJ Redick arguing about old school basketball players versus new school. But yeah, the foul territory thing, and honestly that could be a wave that we see across kind of all sports is some of these big time podcasts moving into network coverage. You've kind of seen that with Pat McAfee, and I think there could be more of that coming.
Yeah.
It may be a chicken and egg type of thing where you wonder, did the media lose interest and that's why fans lost some interest? Or did the fans lose the interest first and then the media followed?
I'd have to think the latter.
I don't know.
You talking baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, the nerds kicked in, man. Right when the nerds started running baseball teams and telling it all these stupid stats no one can understand without an MIT degree, that's when it ended for me. I'll watch it, but analytics completely ruined it.
But if you just watch a Cardinal game, it doesn't look much different than it did 20 or 30 years ago.
Oh, they might
talk about it differently.
They were taking pitchers out in the playoffs with 6 2/3 shutout.
Well, in that sense
pitches?
it does, I guess. Yeah, some of the pitching
dude,
changes.
The analytics ruined it, man. And I'm talking not immediately. It's just been a slow trickle down of.
And why do they think
That's what
anybody
it
would
is.
care? When I watch highlights, if I don't watch a Cardinal game, I always watch the highlights so I know what they did. But after a home run, the very next, because they always play highlights, like when they score a run, that'll be the highlight. But every time they hit a home run, the very next thing is arrows going here, velo, launch angle, distance, ball speed. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
Dude, when Matt Carpenter was hitting 117, I swear to God, there were people tweeting, "Well, look at the speed off the bat. He's just in a slump. Look at the speed off the bat." Yeah. I'm looking at like zero production, and any player in the Major League Baseball or minor leagues, you can point out one stat, regardless of how the season is going, to show that he's a top 10 or 15 at his position. I mean, that ruins it for me. I'm just. Players who shouldn't be in the league play longer because of these analytics, and it's just
because of contracts, I think, more than anything else.
No, like Paul DeJong should have been not playing 2 years prior. That's because the contract, but it was only $9 million. Like you just got to cut bait, and players are just in it too long, and they're too much. Just.
Does anybody other than a nerd care what the launch angle is on a home run?
No, yeah, that's all overblown, I think. But you can overanalyze anything. You could do that in any sport, I suppose. But for me, it doesn't affect my enjoyment of the game. I could see where it does get annoying at times to think that players are judged by this. But still, for the casual fan, if you're just watching the game, it doesn't look much different than it has for years. Yeah, they take the pitcher out sooner, but beyond that, and they got rid of the shift. Beyond that, it's about the same game.
Well, except it affects the Hall of Fame voters because they used to be Mickey Mantle, 500 home runs, he's in, blah, 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 500 home runs, 320 average, 1,000 RBIs. Now it's, yes, but look at his WAR.
But nobody cares about that. If you're sitting down to watch a game in July somewhere, what am I going to do tonight? What am I going to watch on TV? You don't care about who's in the Hall of Fame and who's not. It's just, is the game entertaining?
I do.
That determines whether you watch a game or not?
No, I'm not talking about watching a game. I'm just saying it's boring.
Well, some breaking news from the Colonel on PowerMizzou.com. I haven't read through this whole thread. This is the thread where people were saying that Texas is making a late push for Wingo. So I apologize if I'm covering something that's been covered as of last night. Missouri still felt like it was in good shape. There are definitely some nerves this morning. I would be stunned if Texas has an NIL offer that is more than Missouri's, but I guess you never know. If the numbers I have heard over the last few months are even close to right, it is an insane price tag that they're paying for Wingo. I'm going to make some calls to people this morning and see what I can find out. Doug, as you know, I'm a Larry Thornton lemming. Larry Thornton, he's a celebrity on Power Mizzou.
Is he?
He's a celebrity on this show for my money. And he says, today is a good day. It's going to be a great one. Go enjoy the good part. The great part comes later today. Cryptic.
Gosh.
Cryptic.
This dude better have 100% knowledge because he's making himself look like an ass if he's wrong. I love Larry Thornton, but yeah, I mean, he better have Ryan Wingo text him saying I'm coming because that.
But is he hinting at a double shoot?
I honestly don't know why they would want to. If I'm a 4-star wide receiver like McClellan, I'm not joining an already loaded wide receiving room. I know they want to play together. I get it. Maybe he doesn't look at himself like a superstar NFL-type player and he just wants to play home with the boys. I understand that part. I wouldn't want to go in there being 6th or 7th on the depth chart.
Well, you've only got one more year
Johnson,
of
who's
Burden.
a small guy, is going to be a 3-year starter next year with, Burden, and then you're going to fill up quick. Don's last name, Johnson, number 17?
He's a freshman.
Freshman, yeah. So
Speedy.
he'll be starting next year more than likely, and he'll probably stay all 3 consecutive years, sophomore, junior, senior year. So,
guys, will we have Drinkowitz jumping into any boy slut's arms? That's from the St. Peter's Lemming.
Hope so.
There's going to be a lot of pressure on these kids who get all this money to be good players right away. I mean, you deal with that pressure when someone's handed you $1 million or more. But still, there's going to be a lot on the young player to perform and be a productive guy right away.
Is Drinkowitz in U City?
Is Drinkowitz in U City?
if they got a helipad, I know that dude loves flying that Mizzou chopper.
I'm trying to figure that out.
Well, is he there for the decision?
The U-High.
Oh, I thought you said
St.
U
Louis
City.
U-High.
No, I don't know where.
Yeah, tough.
You could go to Heeman
Tough
Park and
for
hang out, I
Drink
guess.
to celebrate at U City when his player is
Stand by
committing
the
at U
Lions.
High.
You can stand right there by the Lions.
Great gym.
Imagine
World-class gym.
They're FaceTiming. Yeah, I couldn't get there. I thought you said U City, but
I meant U-High.
Guys, what pays more, NIL or going into porn? That's some Shafty McShamus.
Clearly porn.
Depends on the talent, I guess.
You see, Brianna was up in New York City. Iggy. She was on the Tamron Hall show.
Who?
Tamron Hall has a show.
No.
That was Tammany Hall with Boston
I know,
Feed.
but her name's Tamron.
How did her LA thing go?
I don't know. I just saw that she was posting that she was in New York to do the Tamron Hall show. So I don't know if she's going straight from there to L.A. She's all over the place. From Sullivan, Missouri to New York City to L.A., Doug. That's what this show does for people.
Iggy, you should text Lisa Ann and see how that went with Tamara Hall.
Erica Swings.
Yeah, I'd ignore that too if I was you.
Done talking about that.
Okay.
Erica Swings, she tweeted the show, and I just said, have fun. But she said, love to come on again and go more into depth about the lifestyle. And we have a big meet and greet this weekend. Love to let everybody know how it is.
I say we all go to the meet and greet. Missouri's on a bye week.
I think it was last weekend.
Okay, well, I still say we go.
And I just said, awesome.
As a
have fun.
team? We can't get out of our studio here. This is the no-kill zone.
No-kill
we go
moron
outside,
shelter.
someone may whack us.
I don't know what the meet and greet was. Meeting with what, fans?
Probably other swingers.
God, can you imagine the group of sads that went to a
God.
swingers meet and greet?
Yeah.
No offense to the swinger, but if the people who
I don't know what she was doing.
It would look a lot like the people you see at the Social Security office.
You think it's that aged?
Oh, I bet.
It's kind of a real mixture.
Where was this, or is it private where it was located?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, I thought we were invited.
No, she said she wanted to come on and talk about it. But I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know where it was, what it was. So I just said, awesome. Have fun.
Well, we are a swingers bulletin board.
I mean, if you guys wanted to come on, I can get her on, but I don't. No, Jackson have to get her on. You got her number. I don't.
But you did
Oompst.
text her back.
Oompst. You like that, Doug?
No, I don't.
Erica
The
swings.
language he's using today is
Yeah,
really
I know.
off-putting.
I think I have her email. I don't know if I have her phone number. She joined, of course, in studio.
Yeah, she tweeted it
She
at.
gave us all her cards.
She
We got
tweeted
her
at
husband.
TMA STL, but
Did,
somehow she
that's right.
tweeted at me too. She's just kind of picking out random people on the show to. I'm gonna email
That card
Doug.
looks so great when we have Sound Story guests in.
Yeah, yeah.
You like when I used to leave the AVN magazines in here.
Well, the butt plugs were the issue.
It leads to questions on
brief
Sound
day.
Story, like, did you ever do any swinging? Never mind. I'm just looking at this card here.
I guess Lana Rose has given up the not doing porn because she's tweeting out and on Instagram. My new video, Farmer's Daughters, is out, and she's walking around with this girl, and they're making out in the grass. I guess she's back to porn.
I'd make out with my buddy in a meadow for
You would?
100,000.
Farmer's
Oh my
sons.
God, are you kidding me?
Who would you
do
make out
that?
with? Mace Dog Reefer, Matty Dreads? Who would get it?
Oh, I hope it's Space Dog.
Anybody, any of them, man. Put me in a tick-infested field.
For $100 grand?
What about Rick and all?
5-minute makeout session? Yeah, Rick and I, but he just had a kid.
So he's out.
No, he probably busy.
That's
Hired
producer
from-
Joe's rule. If a woman has
Probably
had a
busy.
child, he won't sleep with her.
Right.
Yeah, Bo, I'd
That
definitely do that.
steadfast rule.
Oh, he went quick with that one.
Yeah. Because some people like things, and some people don't like other
That's
things.
exactly right.
Doesn't he not eat green food?
Oh, yeah, there was. No, I thought he didn't eat nuts.
Huh.
So to speak.
So Lana Rhodes is back in the game.
Yep. If you go to, I don't know if it's Twitter or Instagram or.
I guess it's Twitter or
whatever
Instagram.
she's
where
on
she
Not
these
gonna
days,
go
but she just said it's finally out. My new video with whoever this girl is, Farmer's Daughters. And it's just seduction, walking in underwear and laying in the grass, making out. So you know there's sex.
Well,
Which
it's
would
a
be porn, so.
Probably so, yeah.
So she's back into porn, even though she hates it and it ruined her life. She's back into it.
Is that a news flash for us?
Is that a new report?
Or, yeah,
It's a new report.
I couldn't even get to it fast enough. I just wanted to say it.
Farmer's Daughters. I haven't seen any of those before.
Well, you are not happy with this, Lana Rhodes.
But maybe she controls her own content.
No,
Maybe
I'm
she was
happy for
bashing
her.
the industry as a whole because, you know, they took
I was under the
advantage
impression
of
she was
her.
doing really well with whatever the hell she's doing. Podcast or something?
I don't know. And Plaza could be right. She just
She worded it
was
wrong.
trashing the industry because of how they treated her. Yeah, a lot of girls have that problem.
Because if you own your own content, I bet porn's probably pretty damn fun. Right, Doug? I think that'd be.
I don't know.
What the F's happening on this show right now? The Toasted Marshmallows rambling about another washed-up porn star he hates but watches. Plow's talking about taking one in the stinker.
Oh.
Doug's clearly humming glowworm in his head, and Tim's just looking cute per usual. Doug, that's from Colts columnist Brian Henson.
Now, the stinker has like another price tag. I want to talk about making out in a
How much for
tick-infested
that?
meadow.
How much for that?
$100,000 for the make-out meadow. And that'd be with my boy, too. So, like, our whole relationship would completely change after that.
Oh,
So,
I
like,
think
that's
so.
why the money is so high. It's like,
Yeah.
I probably couldn't hang out
For
with him
making out
alone.
$100,000.
Stop talking about Lana Rhodes! That's from Big Tuft, and he's losing it.
I thought I'd just go ahead, watch her video if you want. Just for the
I'm not
people that
going
like,
to. I don't even know who it is.
for people that like
Talked
Lana
about
Rhodes.
it for years.
She's been on
I
the
have no-
show. You know
no,
who she is.
I don't. I wouldn't know her if she walked in that room.
We made her.
We made Lana
made
Rhodes?
Yeah, she came back and she's on this show and she became a big star.
She was
Then
on
she
this.
Then she
had
retired
her.
again.
Oh, that wasn't Pepper and Jeannie.
No, we've got drops from Lana Rhodes.
Okay.
I did a
It's
porn.
going
I did
way
a cup
back.
scene with my dad and my brother, and that was a lot of fun.
This is at least 10 years ago.
Well, she was on the
right?
show. I didn't say when. I just said she's on the show.
Okay. All right. It's just hard to keep up from
Can
everything that
someone
was
from Instagram please get back to me about why my account is deleted?
on. Oh,
I never posted anything on there that showed nipples, nudity, pornography, nothing.
bless her heart. Bless her heart.
That's a little snippet there,
sad
Doug, of Lana Rhodes.
That wasn't on our show, though.
No, that's just what we played.
You see, there's states suing Meta now because a recent study has found that teenage girls are like 13% more likely to consider suicide based on what's going on Instagram.
Megan Meyer Foundation's existence.
Wow.
There you go.
That's a good little
That's
nugget
why.
there, Doug.
That's why you exist, Iggy, huh?
Yeah, it's all social media nowadays. It used to be if somebody bullied you at school, you
You're
know,
done,
in your days would be sticks and stones may break my bones. Forget about it. I mean, now if you tweet something out about somebody, it's seen by millions of people.
14-year-old girl can really just mentally destroy you. My sister did that to me as a kid. They're so good at it.
They wore you down.
God, they're so
They
good
talk
at it.
fast and everything.
Well, I'm late for a designer heating and cooling email today. Honestly, I thought it was true love, but to him it wasn't. He was the kind of guy everybody wanted to be with, and we all knew the games. My buddy Archie's dad, Mr. Dawson, read us all a book. The last guy to stay awake got a prize, and I planned my work and worked my plan. Heck, I even circled the date on the calendar. 30 years ago today, October 25th, as he quieted his voice, my other friends fell asleep. So it was on. He bent me over, and I was like, what the heck, Mr. Dawson? Is that your flip phone you are inserting inside of me?
Gosh.
With that, he further put my face on the pillow and said, it's no phone, but it's going to start vibrating. It's a special hexagonal condom.
Oh.
And here is where it got crazy. It was a rare cold October, and he had the sniffles. All of a sudden, I heard, achoo, achoo. And that is the story of the time my bud Archie's dad sneezed inside of me.
Oh, God. Who thinks of this stuff? Who would think of that and then write it and send it in?
Doug, it's in the filtered file, though.
Come on, Jackson. Some of that's on you.
Isn't it like a bacterial infection?
It's a Billy Blast.
Kevin Miller may be the dirtiest texter we have,
He
actually.
might be. Kevin Miller.
That was pretty
One of the dirtiest texters we have.
I sauntered up to the meat counter with that easy breezy feeling you get when you're not wearing boy panties. As I waited in the queue, butterflies flew around in my tummy. There he was, like Great Bear of a man, in his sweat-soaked white coat and hairnet glowing with a big D energy. 67, he yelled in his great baritone voice. I quivered. 68, he thundered, that coax distinct movement in my nethers. 69, he barked, oh God, here I squealed. Here, I'm here. He plopped his giant pork loin of an arm on the counter with an audible slap that I heard still in my dreams. What do you have, he said. I pointed to the counter. He said, cube steak? No, I whispered. Beef tongue, he queried. No, sir, I demurred. Do you want them gizzards, boy? He snarled. It was all I could do to not mess my shorts. It was so intoxicating. Then why don't you come up here and whisper on my ear, son, he said to me. I propped myself up on the meat counter. Years of dance class, jazz and tap, thank you very much, paying off as my long, coltish legs curled up behind me. I nestled up to his ear and said, I'm a tavern ham boy. Cut, he said.
Tavern ham boy? What the hell is that?
Yes, I am, I said.
A tavern ham
Do you
boy?
want it thick or sandwich cut? He growled at me. Thick cut, I said. God, I love Legrand's. It's in the calcified ear.
What in the world?
Bring Legrand's into this.
Calcified ear.
That's the kind of ham I get. I always get tavern ham at Schnucks.
You're a tavern ham boy?
Cut, he said. Yes, I am. I said, no. Do you want it thick or sandwich cut? He growled at me. Thick cut, I said. Doug, the calcified ear.
Yeah. I feel bad about the ear. But it's nice to know he's a calcified ham boy.
I feel bad for Legrand's. That stuff doesn't happen there.
I wouldn't think so.
I've been going there since I was a tyke in the maybe even in the 70s.
You ever seen that?
No. It's where we would grocery shop. And now it's a sandwich shop.
And there was almost no talk of are you cut or not cut.
Never. As far as I know. Timmy, we're not going up there, that guy.
Yeah.
Does anyone on the dais know if it's safe to drink Tough Actin Tinactin? I can't afford another trip to urgent care, and I don't want to have to explain to the doctor how I got athlete's foot in my mouth again. Pretty simple explanation, really. I was sucking on Dale's toes, but I didn't know he was riddled with contagious foot fungus.
Oh.
Come to think of it, I bet the same logic might explain why I've got jock itch on my palms, and why my wedding ring always smells like Preparation H. Silly me, I just realized that I failed to mention who Dale is. In spite of his diabetes, Dale's a straight shooter, takes pride in his impressively sized fupa. He doesn't wear a sissy little triple XL either. He only has one single outfit, a tarp from Home Depot, because 8XL shirts are just too snug around his midsection. He's the kind of guy who gets genuinely excited about bowling with the guys who unload Metamucil amps and lighting equipment. Dale's grip is firm and his ever-expanding gape is succulent and tender, like an expensive beef stew at a fancy restaurant. On his best days, like salsa with too much jalapeno, his hole is spicy, and that's why I'm proud to call him my brother-in-law. That's from the JV golf coach.
JV golf coach.
And finally,
three of you ought to just get together and write your own email. You're all the same.
Ours is the type of presentation where the hosts feel free to drop in at any time, including weekends when no one else is there, and chain smoke darts next to a noisy fountain while bragging about all the attractive women half his age he could have had. Of course, the guy who searches for leaks from paid OnlyFans accounts doesn't like that someone edited and reshared his free Only Stands video. My favorite part of the video was when Donum asked Iggy about the tail at his apartment complex, and Iggy said there's not a girl in his complex that he would talk to, much less go out with, and that most of the new neighbors don't even speak English anyway. Iggy then proceeded to contradict the previous statement by explaining how he creeped out one of his female neighbors by inviting her to join him on his bird poop covered patio furniture, and she replied, boyfriend. So, yeah, I guess we're done talking about Woody Allen. I don't want to talk about how, as a middle-aged Oscar-winning filmmaker, he dated Stacey Nelkin when she was in high school, and maybe that should have been a tell. No, I want to talk about an unfunny scene from Annie Hall involving the editing of laugh tracks and bring the show to a grinding halt. I know a lot about trade deals for radio shows that nobody is listening to, and it's great. How's Ken Strode? Are we going to bring that back? How about that whole deal? Was the furniture company that furnished Dan Marshall's office the same one that gave Iggy a $4,000 bed in exchange for live reads on Iggy's treehouse? Or what about the trade deal he had with the maid that cleaned his rent-controlled dormitory for the underprivileged that he also banged? What's she up to these days? Maybe she could be the title sponsor of Renters Roundtable. Now, how that will happen, we haven't quite worked out, but we do believe in it. That's some buck swope.
Oh,
That's what we have for the designer.
I'll go for calcified ear.
I agree.
Calcified Ear has shipped the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today and is still alive in the month of October. Time for us to go. Howard Richard talking Mizzou football at 10:15 on Balloon Parties on 101 ESPN. Bye.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as